l'asfalto che brucia, lo senti il rumore di un cuore che pulsa più di questo motore. Una vita che passa in un solo secondo, c'è soltanto una strada che porta fino al centro del mondo. Tutto quello che ho in mezzo a tutto questo bel casino è un motivo per sentirmi vivo, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo. Tutto quello che ho, il sangue che mi arriva dritto al cuore, l'ossigeno che spinge a respirare, e una ragione grande come il mare, come il mare.
I just thought that was an amazing move by Brewster. He falls back into third place after turn one, and he said, I'm going to go ahead and take that back. But the question is, can he hold on to it? Are they going to go 3 wide again? They're thinking 4 wide now, Ron. It doesn't look like they're going to, though. Brewster elects for the outside line here into one. Montgomery gets by him. We have an S2 leader now. Everything's popping off here at the front of the field. Don't look now, though. It looks like there are things happening behind him as well. There are 2 packs of very, very angry Formula Vs.
Tutto quello che ho, tutto quello che ho, in mezzo a tutto questo bel casino, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo. Tutto quello che ho, il sangue che mi arriva dritto al cuore, l'ossigeno che spinge a respirare, è una ragione grande come il mare, come il mare. Tutto quello che ho,
Hello and welcome to the 42nd VRunoffs here at the Weekend Warriors for what's a bit of a special occasion tonight. Really mix things up, so that's going to be an absolute feast for the eyes. I am Tim Cox, Daniel Salmon with me. But first off, let's just run you through the format of the season. Qualifying just ongoing in the background. Actually, the Eagle Eye viewer may well have spotted we have got Formula Vs. Okay, that's normal, Tim. What are you talking about? Well, they're on an oval, and it's dirt as well. Just to add things to the spice, we've got the usual Formula Fords coming up later on. They're going to be up second. I'll reveal more on that one later. And then rounding things off for the SRFs. But, well, this is going to be thick and fast, Daniel, isn't it? Let's get straight stuck into qualifying.
Well, it is definitely going to be a very fun, very colourful event there, Tim, and it looks like we are indeed in qualifying. Currently sat on the top step is Jason Green, and it's fair to say this is definitely not his usual forte. He is very, very talented, as we've seen in the Spec Racer Ford. He just won the S1 division, but new set of challenges for him today at USA International.
Jim Brewster heading to the top of the timing towers. Only 5 minutes in qualifying rather than the usual 20. Due to the ever so short lap around here. 28.88. Alan Thompson just slapping it on pole there. It's gone fastest of anyone. 28.8 before. Well, it goes faster again. 28.4. Trent and Kramer up into the second for Josh Justice. Moves on to that second row, well, front row with Thompson at the moment. It's changing around Jim Brewster with the reply. Jason Green moves himself up onto the second row with Fortolo. It's happening. It's live. I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to keep up with this one. Yet to certain times, quite a few drivers. We're going to have over 40 runners and riders. Jim Brewster straight to the top before Ann Thompson replies. First driver to go below the 28-second mark at 27.96. Brewster second with a 28.37. Stevie Ray, well, moves up into third, but then displaced down Fortello. Now it's Jim Brewster back up there. God, this is changing around frightfully quickly. Gary Wolbolt up into 16th. Michelle Lynn into 7th at the moment. It keeps constantly changing. It's hard to keep an eye on exactly what's happening on track.
Well, there's definitely a lot going on, and being such a short lap time, 28 seconds flat is the time to beat right now. It's definitely a challenge, you know, very, very, very close margins indeed.
It is indeed. It is indeed for, we've got Jason Green, David Gaspers, 5-time SRF Weekend Warriors champion. Got up onto the second row into 4-4 Tullo. Sort of a name that's synonymous with this series and always right at the front end. Only good enough for the third row of the grid at the moment. Duda Castro, he's well down, languishing in 26th by his own high standards. Whatever names we've got further down the list, Tom Gradwell, good morning to him, and Brad Cathcart, our Australian contingent, who get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to come and race here in the Weekend Warriors, week in, week out. Antonio Race well down. Trenton Kramer probably be disappointed with that one. He's into 16th. Michelle Lynn 7th. As we've got, well, amazingly still, a minute left on the clock. Josh Justice up into 6th. He's going to be happy with that one for now, but he's still going on another lap. Likewise is Jason Green too. Alan DeGassius running well on 23rd at the moment. One new driver yet to set time. That's Fabio Oliveira, the Portuguese driver. The only driver actually hasn't even taken to the track yet. That's why he's yet to set a time. Nils Sentkowski, 10th there, just sneaking inside the top 10, 5th row of the grid at the moment with Dan Sadro. And breathe. Well, we've set amazing. We've still got 45 seconds as Jason Green moves up into 3rd there. They'll be happy with that one. 28.03. Only two drivers to crack the 28-second mark. That is your front row of Thompson and Brewster provisionally at the moment. But this is up for grabs. It's constantly changing and evolving. It's flipping on a hat. We could see someone displace them from that front row.
Well, it definitely...
both of them completely, to be fair.
Well, it definitely is a very, very close margin indeed. Just 10-15 seconds left to go. I've got to be honest, my first major concern for this race is how well are these guys going to get around the first couple of laps? I can see it being absolute pandemonium, but I do have a lot of respect for these drivers. You know, we've seen the talent of these guys, and they are very, very respectful when they race as well. But that does indeed bring qualifying to an end. We're going to try and get a grid up for you in just a second. We are adding a couple of drivers on the fly as well, so please bear with us on that as well. Here's the grid.
Ant Thompson and Jim Brewster onto the front row. Row 2, that's Green and Gaspers, two gigantic names of the Weekend Warriors series. Tullo and Justice make up row 3, while we've got Lynn and Ray on row 4. Row 5 and your top 10, Stan Sadro and Neil Sentkowski. Gary Wolbolt and Nick Tullo make up a row 6 of the grid, while row 7, that sees, as I have to squint a little bit harder there, Bobby West and Latoro. Then we've got Paul Stevens and Jason Perry on row 8. Row 9, Antonio Race and Trenton Kramer. Those two will be disappointed by that one. For row 10, it's Arthur Larorio and Michael McConnell. Row 11, it's Tufts and Utz, while DeGassius is sharing row 12 with Marzucci. On to row 13, unlucky for some, let's hope not for Ogburn and Telka, while Duda Castro and Kevin Adrian, a very Hispanic Latin America flavour to row 14. Row 15 is Kurt Nunes and Keegan, while Stephen Healy and Tom Gradrow on row 16. Row 17 is Cathcart and Ilfsey, while Grider and Jakeson on 18. 19, to wait for it to move down, that is Brian Hansen and Carlos Navarro. Stasinski and Marin on row 20. Row 21 is Brian Stasinski and Andrew Love with Fabio Oliveira, the last driver all by himself on row 23 of the grid. Whoa.
That is a very big grid, Tim. 43 cars have come out today. Well, that is absolutely Incredible. And you can see there the iRacing pace truck. We've got a pace truck today, ladies and gentlemen, is there leading them around. And another thing to think about as well, how are the track conditions going to change as this race develops? Definitely going to be a very, very interesting race indeed. What an absolutely packed grid of cars on a very, very small circuit.
Yes, and that's only going to get smoother, and but there should be more grip available to our drivers. These opening laps are going to be really treacherous. A few years ago, me and my friends were on a skippy race around this very circuit, USA International, on the dirt. And it is sketchy, to say the least, on these opening stages. 25 minutes race distance. We're not lap-based here. 25 minutes. So that's going to give us what? Around about 50-odd laps, 50 to 55, depending on the pace of the race. But I tell you what, when to come around to catch the rear of the pack, it's going to happen very quickly. That's going to be even more treacherous for our lead cars. Just wait for the pace strip. That pulls in. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to go racing for the first time this evening as we are green and we are away. It's Formula V's at USA International in the dirt, and Thompson leaves the way. Gasper's upward ahead of green. They're all shuffling around, looking back from our leader at the moment. Daniel Tufts, he's making great progress. He's at 5 already as our top two, Thompson and Brewster, start to pull away already as they come round to complete that first lap. Few drivers really feeling the treacherousness out there. Tufts up 6 places now, going for the Andreas Bertoni award. What's that, Dan, you've spotted?
Yeah, I just seen something go very, very wrong in the background. We're going to have a quick look at the replay here. It's Kurt Nunez was involved, and you can see here what's going on. Multiple cars everywhere, and a little bit of a wheel catch there. He's managed to keep going, and we're going to see exactly what happens, you know. A couple of flashes in there as well. Pandemonium. Oh, there you go. That's a couple of cars involved. Almost clears the fence. Yeah, definitely not what they had in mind. And then a whole swarm of Vs. And it's mass casualties here at USA International. Oh dear, we're getting more warnings as well. This isn't good.
Well, it was almost on the cards to happen. So that's from Brian Stashinski's perspective.
Oh, there you go.
Caught up. Cars left, right, and centre. Someone upside down there. And just unsighted by someone rolling across the track. Could never have spotted that one coming. As we head back to live pictures now. Thompson pulling out a 7/10 gap. Brewster likewise. He's got nearly a second on David Gaspers. Jason Green, he's got a real battle on his hand. Fortullo sending it up the inside there as he starts to find the grip, find the traction, and move up on through the order here. Interesting, Stevie Ray just saying the fastest lap of the race so far, 28.54. But Daniel Tufts up 11 now. But wow, it's Andrew Love going for the Andreas Bertoni award that I've coined over the years. He's up 18 spots. Some officials don't even have 18 cars in them.
Well, definitely an incredible move there by Andrew Love. Definitely nothing to shake a stick at there. 15 spots currently as it stands. An incredible margin to be up so far. And it looks like he is indeed in some clean air as well. So it'll be interesting to see how his lap times go. As you can see there, pushing that car very wide out. I thought he was going to clip the wall for a second. If you take a look behind him, he does have a bit of a gap as well. Now, I do wonder just how crucial is the draft going to be on such a small circuit. We know that the Vs do love a good bit of wind, a little bit of assistance there. As you see a little bit of a wiggle there from the 544 car of Andrew Love, but I do wonder if this is going to put him in a little bit of a plateau for a little while until he can catch up to some more cars.
Time will tell, Daniel. Time will tell. There's Brewster leading Masters, highly surprising as he's running in second place at the moment. As Thompson getting a bit caught up there as they're coming through the back end of the field. Now, I say the back end. It's on board with Thompson. Brewster even splattered across his visor. And we're already catching up to Brad Cathcart in 20th. I mean, where do you pick your line? Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right, and Daniel, we're stuck in the middle with Jim Brewster at the moment, who's trying to find some grip.
Well, it's definitely going to get more and more interesting as that track gets worn in. I think they're going to find... Oh, that's a little bit of an accident there from Brewster. That's not what he had in mind. Able to keep going. A slight casualty in the process. And that blue and yellow car there appears to be slightly wounded as it stands.
Matthias Marin, the Canadian, up 20 spots at the moment. Your highest climber. Incidentally, Stevie Ray, one of the drivers, caught up in that instant early on. Michael Lorio. They're well down the order into the pits. A few of our drivers now. A few casualties already caught out in this one. Retirement so far, Paul Stevens, Brian Stozinski. Both the Stozinskis, incidentally, down involved too. Different laps for them, though. But there are only 2 retirements so far. So 3 retirements with Fabio Oliveira not making the start, as Thompson just goes 27.53, fastest lap so far, as we're not even a fifth through our way through this race, and we've had so much happen so far. There's someone else off.
Well, this is one of those races where, you know, 3 wide is definitely not going to be anything to shake a stick at there. As you can see, just absolute cars everywhere. And I got to admit, I'm a little jealous. I would absolutely love this. But Adam Thompson, the Slow Motion Broadcasting original founder, he's currently having a very good day. He's out there in front. And I do happen to know the guy can drive on dirt. Don't tell him that. He doesn't need to know. But he's currently doing very well, rocking the SMB logo there. And I also seen as well, that is the Vapors logo there, courtesy of Michelle Lynn. And that is the sponsor for the Formula V coming next season, one of the key sponsors. So we'll get a little bit more on that a little bit later on. But Thompson having a very good run so far. Traffic everywhere around him. And, you know, this track, despite being very small, really handling these Formula Vs quite well.
It is. It starts to wear in the track. The more grip becomes available to you. You can really drive it into the corners now. But they can all flip in an absolute instant. Just further down through the fact, for Tolo there, currently riding along in third place, up 2 places. Managed to break out a bit of a gap over Gasper's behind, but you can see that red number 933 of Jim Brewster. Always runs really well in the V's. Hoping for a great result tonight, but trying to pick his line, looking left, looking right. He'll split him down the middle, maybe. How confident you feeling, Jim? Because Fortello's breathing down your neck as he tries to slot it through the middle. There you go. Fortello squeezing one of the cars down low onto the inside. Didn't quite catch who that was. I think that might have been Tyler Hagan, potentially, in the 299. Michelle Lorio keep it up high, trying to keep his way out of this battle for second. But wow, it's got a long way to run. Still got a whopping 18 odd minutes and change left on the clock. As Matthias Marin, after that great start, cursing the commentator being heaped onto the Canadian, he's headed into the pits, clearly damaged for him. But he's going to come back out all the way down in 31st, so only up the 9 now. So Jason Grider now your highest climber, he's up 18.
Well, we also have a battle going on between Jason Green and Michelle Lynn. Just 0.2 of a second in it right now. You can see Green is there. He's trying to go up on the inside. And it's fair to say there is definitely a lot of influencing factors around. You see there, that's not smoke, ladies and gentlemen. That is the V's putting a little bit of unburnt fuel into that exhaust. I believe it's got the engine from a Volkswagen Beetle, actually. It's a little flat 4, I believe it is. And you know, not the most complicated of engines, but definitely very effective in these cars.
Yeah, it is out of a Beetle. It's only a little lightweight, but then fits in well with these cars that are really doing something they're truly not designed to do tonight. But that is the beauty of sim racing. So we look back from Michelle Lynn, that is Green just behind us. Jason Green. Always one to watch out for. Don't need to worry too much about fuel, although using a bit of the traffic there as the pick. That is the 981 on Nick Tullo there. Green having to head up high, trying to find a way through, but loses time in doing so as Trenton Kramer down in 33rd. Not a place you normally expect to see him. But hey, this is the great equalizer, isn't it? Cars that they're used to, but in surroundings and settings that they're truly not used to whatsoever.
Well, for a second there, I thought we had a battle going on for the lead, but it was very brief unless something happened to Fortullo. And actually, speaking of Fortullo, a little bit of information for you guys at home. He is actually drives a real car, a Formula V, over in the UK. I was actually watching a bit of his race the other day, and I believe he actually won it, and that was, if I'm not mistaken, at Brands Hatch. So well done, sir. And definitely as a track that I've been to in real life, that is nothing to shake your stick at. That first turn at Brands Hatch is about 3 stories high, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely would be a very scary experience in a Formula B.
Yeah, it's you don't get. Oh, something's happened to Jason Green. He's dropped out of the equation quite heavily. He's had an accident. Daniel
there you go.
Oh, there you go. That's why.
Ooh.
Oh, and even like a pinball now. This is trouble. So many cars on such a short track. It's always going to happen. Well, from riding high to down to the pits, it's all gone wrong for Green.
Well, this could be one of the events where survival is the keys to success. And actually, what's happened to Adam Thompson as well? You know, he's still up there first.
He's still there.
There we go. We're good.
Still there.
I thought he'd.
You're okay.
I thought he'd done, something he's not terrible for, but he also, you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give him a hard time. Let's be real. But I tell you what, we could really put him up and drag him into the chat. What do you reckon, Tim? Should we leave him be or should we bring him in?
Well, I think we'll leave him be. I mean, it's not a. It's maximum concentration required because as soon as realistically, they only had a couple of laps of fresh air before it was straight into the traffic. Those incidents early on, obviously backing up someone going slow on the inside there. It's maximum concentration around here, and you can really see that these shiny patches started to emerge out on track. That's the dry line where all the dirt started to really rub away. That's where the grip is. That's where the drivers need to be aiming for now. To build into this one more and more. 11 minutes nearly complete. Fast approaching half race distance, and as you can see, there's no ladder whatsoever. Incredibly close between two of the runners. I think that's Nick Tullow there. Just caught up a little bit in one of the drive. No, it's not. Apologies. Just mistaking his livery. It's foreign Utz in the mid. He's around the outside. Apologies.
Oh!
There's more contact. There you go. There you go.
Well, that definitely was not how he wanted to go down. There's a big 3-4-way fight going on between himself, Jason Perry, Alan DeGasis, and Jason Grider. Nick Tuller not far behind, and definitely one of the closest battles we have going on track right now. As I say that, there is another 3-car battle happening between Jeff Jacobson, Dave Ogburn, and Guido Marzucci. Now, Guido is the gentleman who made that absolutely fantastic intro video we had with the music that, I'll be honest, I've got no idea what they were singing about, but I do think they did an absolutely fantastic job. But Guido currently right now, Fox Anderson Racing Team, he's back there in 23rd. Definitely not where he wants to be, but definitely got people around him for position. He's got Dave Ogburn and Jeff Jacobson right ahead of him. Fights to be had yet in this race.
Oh, I can hear it. There's been contact where they're about to reach right now. I can hear someone running slow, and there's further contact there. Cars caught up with one another. I think, was that Michelle Lynn caught up in that?
Oh, we can take a look. This is Michelle Lynn's car. Let's have
she's... Yeah, so on board with her. Might get a view of exactly how this pans out.
Ahead of her.
You see it in the distance. Oh, there you go. There's the contact. I thought I'd seen she drop through the order. She's into the pits. That's a broken front left if there ever was one.
Let's have a look, see what happened to Mateus Marin. I believe he was in that incident as well with the Renault livery, actually, the old classic Formula Renault that would have been driven by Fernando Alonso. And you just see he gets a bit of a tank slapper going. Oh, casualties afoot. 1 car, 2 car, 3 car, 4 car, and potentially...
US caught up in that one. Reckon Lice's livery anywhere.
Oh, 5, 6. Oh, high score.
9.2, I'd give that one. I mean, he landed on his wheels, so, maybe higher.
It was
Good
definitely
effort from the Canadian there.
Definitely a very colourful crash there as we're having a look back at Jeff Jacobson. Let's see if he's still on a fight. He is, with Dave Ogburn right behind him. So these guys about 4 tenths per second in it right now. Actually, we're going to leave that battle. We've got one going on between Michael McConnell, I believe. Hang on a second here. There's so many cars on the track, it's literally trying to play Russian roulette, trying to find...
He's safe. He's got a lovely buffer right now, either side of him. Sadre 5 seconds ahead and 9 seconds ahead of Tullow, I believe. Who's, locked in a battle with Laurier and Gassius as Gassius moves up 1. I think Tullow... no, Larfa Laurier. Is he into the pits? No, he's just going very slow and he's dropped a few places.
You can see that car on the inside there, not quite sure what his plan is, but you can see Alan DeGase is having a little bit of a run as well. He's got cars ahead of him, but for position, I thought he had some near him, but they appear to have spread out again. Very challenging. I've never actually directed a dirt oval race before, so this is definitely a first for me. And then not only that, we put 40-something cars on the grid, so definitely, it's fair to say, there is a lot going on. Oh, there we go.
Indeed, a bit of a blink out there. Fast approaching 15 minutes into this race. Thompson leads from Gaspers, Tufts. That's your top three at the moment. Jim Brewster still leading the way in Masters, and it is Healy who leads Spec 2. Stephen Healy, the Canadian, up a whopping 23 spots, but that is eclipsed by Jason Grider. He's up 24. He's gone one better at the moment, and it's also in Spec 2, running second in class at the moment. Nick Tillo and Andy Gass, two Masters drivers, separating them as things stand. And that is the crucial phrase in this, as things stand, because if we've seen that onboard first issue showed in the replay with Michelle Lynn, running really well, and then all of a sudden, bang, your race falls apart in an absolute instant. But all the more reason why you just need to dust yourself up, get up straight back out there, because you probably can end up gaining quite a few places through other people's mishaps. As by talking to Michelle Lynn, just sets fastest lap of the race there, 27.36. And just finding yourself in that clear air, that's what's playing a large part on these fastest laps that are being set by drivers at the moment. If you're caught up in traffic, it doesn't matter where you're running, how quick you are on pace. It's just that traffic that's playing. It's the major part of it. It is the great equaliser. Whereas Brewster, having started on the front row there, he's coming round to be lapped by Thompson. He's lapped everyone up until and including 5th place Dan Sadro. I mean, he's got away with this one. Oh, as someone else into the wall there. I've just had a big clatter down at turn 1. Oh, running very slowly.
Ooh.
Oh, couple of cars. Oh, and there's further carnage in the background there. Matthias Marin, Kurt Nunes, I think Brad Cathcart, the other one, caught up in that one. Well, there's Marin. Oh, well, I've been in the walls and the walls, to be fair. He tries to recover the car. Broken front right, and just unsighted. Nowhere to go.
Well, that is definitely one of the things with these smaller tracks.
Wow. Stephen Healy just heading past Michael McConnell there. That's a change around for 7th place. Stephen Healy leading now 24 spots, and well, McConnell making contact there. And he's done well not to lose many more places. He still remains in 8th.
Well, as we can see right now, we've got Adam Thompson currently in the lead. David Gaspers in 2nd with Daniel Tufts in 3rd. These guys are doing very well to survive so far. I am going to try and update the drivers in the program and see, because Adam Thompson, he would be in S2, I believe. He's under 3,000 I rating, so I am going to try and sort that. So enjoy the lovely voice of Mr. Tim Cox.
It's been a while since we've had a Spec 2 overall winner. Delving through my historical encyclopedic knowledge of the Weekend Warriors, what a turn up for the books to me. What a way to do it here in the Runoffs 42nd edition. Where has the time gone? Over 10 years of iRacing fun, 10 and a half to be precise. And now it's just 4 drivers on the lead lap. Thompson, Gaspers, Tufts and Brewster. All 3 classes covered by that. There's only 2 Spec 1 drivers in the top 4 that remain on that lead lap. And well, they're not even leading at the moment, and at the moment is the crucial point. Gaspers just responding to all of that, setting the fastest lap. Although he is 11 seconds behind Thompson, it's just all played into his hands. It's all going right for him at the moment. Stringing it together nicely, and with that sort of lead, you can afford to be a little bit more cautious. The pressure right now is on Gaspers. What's he got? The man with 9.9k I rating. In fact, I've seen him over 10. He has dropped a little bit, but we'll let David off that one. As I say, 5 times SRF Weekend Warriors champion is David Gaspers.
Definitely a very fun, colourful race so far. As I see, it looks like Kevin Adrian is having a little bit of a battle, potentially with Michelle Lynn. We're going to get that battle box up there for you. It should be there, at least it was, but interesting. I think the overlay may have crashed, but we will fix that for you in just a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me here.
It's Kevin Adrian there. That's me, as mentioned, Michelle Lynn only just in front. One of our closer battles. Everyone's at the gap starting to expand out at the moment between them. The one Daniel Tufts currently running third up, 18 spots, incredibly. Jason Grider, he did share the Andreas Bertoni Award for a brief while. 24 spots gained, but Grider making up another one. He's up into 25th now. Also up 6 places in class at the moment. So making hay while the sun shines here at USA International Raceway. Although, will it continue to shine for the entirety of this 42nd running of the Weekend Warriors runoffs? Stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. Maybe I'm dropping a few hints already, but no, we'll see shortly. Coming up for you, the Formula Fords next, the FF1600s. Actually, the array version as well of the Formula Ford. Dina Castro and Bobby West, they're locked in a bit of battle over 24th. Sorry, it's Castro and Trent Kramer involved in a battle at the moment. Further down through the order, also Lynn, Grider and Adrian all incredibly close to one another. There they are. A bit of a puff of smoke up ahead. As Daniel alluded to earlier on, nothing to worry about with that one. These cars do omit them every so often on gear changes, as Tom Gradwell and Florence have had a bit of a coming together by the looks of things somewhere on track. But it's only 3/4 mile short track oval. We'll probably come across them sooner rather than later. But Kevin Adrian right now trying to find that way past Grider, and there's contact and it's all gone wrong. I think that's Lynn. I think West involved too. I'll look from Josh Justice, who, oh, Josh, hold on tight like a bucking bronco. Oh, well, he holds on to it, but that car is damaged beyond repair, and he couldn't move it. He had no drive. And, well, that's what started off the chain reaction from Alan Degassis. Well, he's just running around against the wall right now. Broken front right. I think he was one of the cars that came on through and made contact. It's a Jack Ryder dropping down now. He's into the pits as well. Not many drivers left who have yet to pit. Thompson, Gaspers, Tufts, Bruce, Sadro, Tullo, and Stephen Healy. The race leader, Thompson, there. And now that gap, it was 11 seconds earlier on, back to Gaspers. 15 seconds. Now the advantage of Stephen Healy into the pits. Wow, he was our top climber, but oh, hello, there's a car upside down there. Was that Ford? No, I think that's Jason. No, it's Jason Perry. That's who it was. That's who was upside down. There you go. Well, it's becoming a bit of a parking lot, pit road at the moment. So Stephen Healy has come out, but he's come out in 10th, just holding on to that top 10 spot at the moment. So with all these changes around, people having to pop into the pits, it's now Jeff Jacobson who has got the Andreas Bertoni Award. He's up 22 spots. Is the Spec 1 driver running 14th overall, and he's up 7 places in class as well. As Thompson continues to extend that lead more and more and more. Look at that, another second gained, 16.3 seconds. What's fascinating me is Jason Grider and Jason Grider and David Ogburn locked in a battle between the pair of them. Well, they were, but that's now evaporated. So I think Jason Green, next one involved in the closest one. Casper's just setting fastest lap of the race. But even so, it is nothing to respond to Thompson, who's, well, just gallivanting off into the distance. Despite Gasper setting the fastest lap of the race, Thompson pulls another half second on the German. Right, looking up and down for the order, what have we got going on right now? So yeah, Jason Green for Tullo, that's an interesting one worth taking a look at. Also, Gideon Marzucci and Duda Castro are very close to one another. It's another new fastest lap from Gasters there. There is Castro with, well, it's Tom Gradwell, in fact. He's got Gideon Marzucci right hot on his tails. There's those gaps. That's the Italian just yo-yoing between the Australian and the Brazilian. Gradwell, a man from down under. They've got plenty of dirt out that way. I should be something at home. You can really see that slick line of merging into turn one down low, but they have to move up high. Someone just coming out of pit road there. There's Tom Gradwell trying to keep at bay the Italian, who is hot on his heels right now. They head through turn 3 and 4. And well, it is Marzucci. Is he going to squeeze up the inside? No, he's going to remain where he is. Oh, well, the checkered flag's out. Where has that time gone? Well, they haven't even reached 25 minutes yet. It's still, well, that threw me. 24 minutes, 57 seconds, and iRace has gone, no, I've had enough. That was too much action for me, and the checkered flag is out. And, well, that confirms Adam Thompson, race winner, Spec 2 driver on top. Gaspers wins Spec 1, Jim Brewster wins Masters. We'll bring you up some Class 5 results shortly. Stephen Healy, no, Andrew Love gets the Andreas Bertoni Award, up 23 spots in the 544. 23 spots. Beautiful. Beautiful. Should be able to bring up some results now. I think everyone across the line. And what? Let's take a look. I'll tell you what, we've got drivers just sat in the interview. Let's have a bit of a chat to get some instant reaction from them. Let's first off chat to our race winner, Adam Thompson. Adam, congratulations. Stuck it on pole, managed to keep out of any incidents. Incredibly hard there with over 40 runners and riders out there.
Yeah, there was, what was that? I'm here. I don't know what that was, but I survived.
And I mean, how much concentration was involved in just in general during that race? Certainly, once you caught up with the tail end of the pack, which happened incredibly quickly due to the amount of cars on track.
Yeah, well, the first couple laps required a lot of concentration. Once that blue groove or that slick line, which Tim, you'll know this. Once that slick line started to form there on the bottom, these things actually gripped up on the slick line as opposed to actual dirt oval cars. So it got way easier. Then it was just collision avoidance, and shout out to Tom Gradwell for making me go change my pants in the middle of the race.
No worries. No worries. Well, congratulations, race winner, Adam Thompson from race 1 of this evening. We'll run through results very quickly. First, no, still struggling with those. Let's move across to our second place finisher, David Gaspers. David, congratulations on second place. I mean, traffic playing a large part of it. We saw you setting fastest laps, but just unable to quite, catch up with Adam Thompson. He just seemed to run away from you, no matter how hard you tried.
Yeah, I was already happy to start anywhere near the front. I've never driven a dirt oval before, so this went a lot better than I expected. Quite a few scary situations, but other than that, just surviving.
Well, I mean, it definitely was a racer's file. How often did you have a? We have a phrase in the UK, squeaky bum time, and really close moments that where you're almost like just praying that you're not going to get caught up in them.
I had to brake, I think, like 3 or 4 times, but other than that, not really anything. I think I was a bit more lucky than some others.
Definitely. Luck definitely playing a large part of everyone's race, I think, here today who did well. Well, congratulations, David. We'll see you up next for the Formula Fords, I believe.
Yeah, a car that I've never raced before.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine, he says.
It also looks from a picture like it might be rain. I've never done a rain race.
Well, hey, you have to. It's a first for everyone at some stage, isn't it? David Gasper's there. Congratulations, second place and highest finisher in Spec 1. Let's move down to the Masters. We'll complete the trio of race winners in their categories. Jim Brewster. Jim, I mean, stuck in on the front row, and I thought, here we go. We're going to get the classic Jim Brewster Formula V Masterclass here. But I mean, dropped a couple of places, but still walked away with that Masters win.
Behind a microphone driver. I mean, I'm embarrassed. He even lapped me. You know, what's there to say? You know, when a microphone racer laps you, you know.
Well, exactly.
So we've had one dirt race previously on a week 13 at Lanier, and so I was a little bit familiar with how these V's. They're a lot of fun on the dirt. As you see, getting through lappers was the whole key here. That's how I got hit. I slowed down for a lapper once and got hit from behind. It was my problem, and I shouldn't have slowed down. I should have just stayed on the gas. Anyway, so hi Tam, hi to everybody. Thanks you guys. This has been a lot of fun. Who knew this announcer guy was so fast? You know, I'm a little shocked.
I know. I think it caught all of us a little bit unawares, that one. But, well, hey. There we go. Congratulations, Jim Brewster there, Masters winner. We'll run you through the top 10. We've got a really tight schedule this evening. So it's Thompson, Gaspers, Tufts, Brewster, Sadro, your top 5. With Tullow, Race, McConnell, Healy and Green rounding out your top 10. Andreas Bertoni Award. Andrew Love finished in 19th. He was at 23 spots, incredibly. Tuff's coming close to that 18, managed to get himself in the top 3, probably your drive of the day. Congratulations to Thompson, race winner and Spec 2 winner, Gaspers, your winner in Spec 1, Jim Brewster, your Masters winner. But let's head to a quick break, where we'll see you on the other side for the second part of the Weekend Warriors Week 13 Runoffs, the 42nd edition. See you shortly.
In the YouTube chat, Drew saying Wilkie can win S2 if he places 5th or better, so we have to keep an eye on Josh Wilkie. Wilkie, keep an eye on Wilkie. He has got to get up to 8th place. Right now he's in 17th. He has what? Oh, speaking of Wilkie, he spins! I don't care about Olace Plava. We've got to go live. Okay, we're live, and there is an absolute hornet's nest up here right now.
With some contact there. Barry goes around. There's a couple more cars off. Plava runs wide. It is absolute bedlam at the top. As I'm hearing in my ear, James Barry looks like a hornet just lurking out the rearview mirrors there of Daniel Tufts. Hopefully he's not too angry. But we have human versus wasp here. Daniel Tufts leading the way. If James Barry is going to make the inside move into turn 2, is he going to be able to make it stick? Yes, he's going to get the move done. New leader, James Barry. Daniel Tufts going to tuck back in or try to tuck back in. Soren Garrett's is there, and now Tufts is bringing it back for turn 3. Going to have the inside line. No way. What a fight.
What is happening here? This is great defense by Daniel Tufts if he can make this work, and he pushes. Oh, my goodness, pushes Barry out wide. Don't look, though, because Soren Garrett says, thank you very much. I'm going to try to go for that second position now. Soren Garrett decides to back out. James Barry back on the attack again, Randall.
They're going to be going too wide into the kink. This is going to be either epic or a disaster. Possibly both. Barry with the lead into the kink manages to secure the lead forward now, but what a fight.
More laps here, Randall, including this one. We shall see when we cross the line here. I would assume that it's going to be white flag as Lau is trying the same move over and over again. But he's there this time.
He's there. He does carry the momentum out of turn 2. He's going to have the inside run to turn 3. Finally gets this move done. Just about. He's still going to be defending the inside for turn 4, but he should be easily able to cover that off. But look now, Kevin Adrian has a run. Lau's going to go defensive, make Kevin Adrian take to the outside. They're getting close to some contact there. Lau taking an extremely defensive line and gonna be able to be clear of Kevin Adrian on the run up to turn 6.
But look at this, the field fanning out 3 wide, going down the San Posey straightaway. DeGassis, Montgomery, and Brewster. Gotta be 3 wide. Brewster on that inside line. Who is going to prevail and take the lead of the race? Montgomery backs out of it. Brewster on that inside line. He's gonna hold strong and true and take the lead of this race.
Question is, can he hold on to it? Are they gonna go 3 wide again? They're thinking 4 wide now, Ron. It doesn't look like they're going to, though.
Harold Szczynski, Poulin, Latarulo, and Wolbald is still hot a little bit farther behind, but look at this. This is a fantastic view running on board with Jesus Rodriguez, the driver of the 76 car. He's got a fantastic run. He had to back out of it. They're coming to take the white flag this time by. I feel really bad for our producer, Daniel Zippy. Sammy, and welcome here to Slow Motion, man. You've had one hell of a job on your hands throughout this broadcast. And look at this, Montgomery weaving like it's going out of style, coming to take the white flag. It's only one more lap around here for the season finale of the Formula V Weekend Warriors Championship, and Montgomery leading them off into turn number 1 and 2 for the final time. Brewster and Rodriguez, they're battling for the final 2 podium spots. Look at DeGassis and Poulin. They may have a good run. Szczynski and Fitzgerald involved in this fight as well. These drivers are battling hard, and look at DeGassis trying to make up a spot. He's going to be on that outside line, hang through turn number 4. Will he be able to stick it? He's going to have a great run, going on to the Paul Newman straightaway for the final time. But with those two battling, oh my God, they are still side by side. They finally cleared out heading into turn number 5, but with that battling, it's turned it into a 2-car fight between Montgomery and Rodriguez. The driver leading in S2, the driver leading in S1. Rodriguez, a presumptive champion in the premier class here from the Formula V Weekend Warriors. He wants to end this season in style and end it with a bang, but look at the gases. He's got a fantastic run. These drivers gonna be bending their floor pan. Look at the weaving, look at the gases. All these drivers battling hard, trying to grab the final victory this season, and as they crash, coming across the line and barrel roll, it was Montgomery who won it by only 0.005 of a second. Chris Montgomery was able to win it by the skin of his teeth.
Freaking real. The fact that every driver crossed the line where they were coming across before that happened.
Pretty significant whack for a lot of the drivers involved. And look at that, the gas is the meat in that sandwich. And oh my God, that is... I've seen some very bizarre photo finishes in my time broadcasting. That has to be at the tippy top of the list. Montgomery and Rodriguez crossed the line, and look at Brian Szczynski with some aerial acrobatics.
Now down 2 spots from where he started, as we see, is that Wilkie ahead that gets off into the gravel. He's going to rejoin. He's going to lose a couple spots, and Manny comes spinning across, and nowhere for Wilkie to go. Look, and we're seeing now in the chat, Andrew Love is a master who chooses to run in S2. So him and Jim Brewster actually work together, as we see Andrew Love. Look at that. We're not going to call this the commentator curse. We're going to call this the chat curse. We're blaming you, Ray Esports.
The Stevie shotgun has indeed been fired, and Andrew Love was the innocent bystander. It's fair to say he was shot down, but Michael McConnell right now, he's currently there fighting with Daniel Tufts and Antonio Reese, and it looks like Reese has managed to hold on to that second position, albeit for how long. Daniel Tufts got an absolutely fantastic draft. He's side by side with McConnell. They're going to be hit. Look, there you go. Tufts is there on the inside. Has he got the move done? Yes, it looks like he has.
Waiting for that green flag, waiting for Maurizio to go, and I hear the throttles being applied, and Maurizio is off, gets clear of P2 easily off the start, and begins to blend out 3 wide into turn 1. Look out, this could be dangerous, and so far, so good.
Well, I definitely thought that was going to end a lot worse. 3, maybe even 4 wide at some points there, but by some miracle, Mauricio Naselli's managed to hold on to it. As we see, there is a little bit of chaos there happening. It looks like Felix Samo's getting caught and stuff. I see Antonio Reese and Ales Plaver. Ales Plaver's currently gone off. He's taken the seat. Oh, Carnage in the back. That's Tom Gradwell involved in that. Brad Carhart as well.
But anyways, we do have another overtake, maybe for the lead. Barry back onto the inside, going into the hairpin here. Is he going to be able to get it done? Looks like we got another move here. Christian Kabenka on Jorg Money as well. Everything's popping off at the hairpin. That is pretty warm, especially for these cars, as we've got a battle. It's going to go 3 wide into turn 3, I believe, and it looks like James Barry overtakes both Masters drivers to get that lead back. Now they're 2 by 2.
Well, I personally think that Jason Green in the 160 car has got the best seat at the minute, because these guys, they are definitely going hard at it, and I think he's actually playing it pretty smart at this point. Sure, he could try and force the issue and go 3 wide, but if I was him, I would stay way back out of that battle, just try and stay on the tail end and potentially try and save some. Well, it's definitely a close battle, and you can see here it's exactly as we predicted. You know, once the field starts to spread out, you end up with these own little clumps of tracks. You see one of the cars going a little bit wide there, but able to hold on. That is definitely going to sacrifice his exit speed on the corner, and that's the 76 of Jesus Rodriguez. So that's opening him up to Chris Montgomery, who's there, definitely applying pressure, but it looks like someone's going around the outside. Is that Wilkie trying to make a move? Defended there by Montgomery. He wasn't having any of that.
That was impressive stuff, and this is not a position where Montgomery wants to be, trying to overtake and getting overtaken. Wilkie gonna try it again. Montgomery goes for a little bit of a block there, but it doesn't look like he's gonna be able to do it. Wilkie trying to take the lead in the S2 class. Is he gonna be able to get it done? He does not get the run with Montgomery on the outside. He's gonna have to live to fight another day and block the inside line. No, he doesn't. He lets Barry go, or he lets Kabenka go to the inside. Kabenka's going to get the move done. Now Barry on the attack for the last half a lap here. It doesn't look like Barry's gonna let this one go, actually. Battling, trying to go over under, makes Kabenka go in deep. Now Barry's gonna have the drive out of the corner.
That was definitely intentional as they went through Spitzkehre, and they're going to heading down. They're going to have a about a 30-degree right-hander next. You see there, almost side by side. This is going to be followed by a 90-degree left. Very, very tight turn. These guys almost touching at that point. They're around there, heading into the closing stages of the track. Not quite there yet. Heading through what I'm calling the horseshoe, but let's not get into my drawing skills at this point. Nothing but clear track ahead of them at this point, so no one should be able to interfere in that battle. Side by side, nearly had contact there. That's going to put Kabenka on the inside for this next hairpin. This could be what decides it, and he's gone right on the outside, actually trying to cover off the car. I do wonder if Barry is going to be close enough to potentially slipstream. They've got 2 corners left to go. This is penultimate one now. Barry right up close, 0.3 of a second. I'm not sure it's going to be close enough. 0.2 of a second. He's got a little bit of a curve, but has Kabenka done it? Barry going to the inside, and Kabenka gets it. He's going to be victim to the slipstream at this point. Is anybody going to try and force it 3 wide? It looks like Antonio Reese is thinking about it. 3 wide. It looks like Roseborough is trying to find an extra spot as well, as Reese sends it down the inside. Gets Colin Flavor on the inside for the next corner, but I don't know if you're quite going to get there. There's a little bit of a lock up there from the 46 car. He's gone deep.
Down to 14th place. And there's a bit of a roadblock in front of there. That's Gary Warbolt on the right. Nick Turner on the left. Hello, can we make a 2-for-1 deal here? Up the inside, thinks about it. Has to back out of it, though.
They're trying to find a weakness at this point. He's extending that gap yet again in front of Jesus Rodriguez. I feel like the favorite probably coming into the dying stages of this race is probably going to be Tulo, as Rodriguez and Brewster going side by side heading into turn number 1. I think Brewster is going to get that move done on him. Yes, he does. Very nicely played from Brewster, and Montgomery looking to try and get a move done on Rodriguez as well. They're going to be side by side heading through the hairpin of turn number 2. Rodriguez running out a little bit into the dirt. However, he has that inside line heading into 3, but Montgomery gets the move done running off into the dirt as well.
Let's have a look. There's no white flags. So we're going another lap here, Ron. How many of these drivers out here have calculated and allowed for that? I'm not sure. We're about to find out who's got enough fuel on board.
That is going to throw a huge wrench in the works in this fight, as Rodriguez trying to get the move done on Montgomery to slip his way back up into the podium positions. Well done from Andrew Love as well to catch up that 1 second gap, but side by side yet again heading into turn number 3. Jesus Rodriguez going to lose out on that battle with himself and Montgomery, and going to lose out on another spot with Love now going side by side with him. Love actually trying to get the 2-for-1 deal, and you can see Rodriguez going for an aggressive move back. Otherwise he may get shuffled out of that P3 entry spot. Here comes Montgomery and Rodriguez. Is any of these drivers going to try and get a move done? Yes, you can see maybe trying to make it 3 wide. No, not yet. Rodriguez trying to get that move done on Love, and Montgomery looking to shuffle him back as well. Montgomery not able to clear Love heading into turn number 5. They're going to be side by side through 6. One of these drivers is going to have to back out, but neither of them do. Love running all the way out to the gravel on corner exit. These in third. Actually, no, I see that. Love maybe trying to sneak a wheel down the outside, heading through turn at number 8 and making contact as well. We got a beautiful view inside of Love's cockpit heading through turn number 8. It looks like that is going to stay line astern, but meanwhile at the north end of the field, Thor Tulo in a dominating performance here from the Formula V Weekend Warrior Championship is going to end up winning it, but the fight between Rodriguez and Love, those two were nearly banging wheels coming to the line. It's going to be a photo finish between the two of them. Barely any air. Right now, DeGastis and P6 is the last of this train. And I'll tell you what, I got the wonderful opportunity to drive alongside some of these drivers in a practice session last night, and let me tell you, the slipstream is absolutely vital in these races, and we're seeing it put on full display right now. Over Street, Tulo and Ladar going 3 wide, heading into turn number 1 with Brewster and Rodriguez feeling quite racy as well. One of these drivers is going to have to back out, and it's going to be Tulo backing out. That Megan Overstreet pulling ahead. Hasn't really caught out Tulo and Rodriguez thus far, but they're going to be side by side with Tulo running that outside line, heading into the final corner, trying to sweep around the outside. This is a bold move from Thor Tulo, and it looks like he's going to make it stick. Beautiful move from Thor Tulo as Megan Overstreet is going to win it. Thor Tulo is going to steal our hearts with a beautiful move.
Michelle Lynn has gotten the move done. It looks like they're side by side through the corkscrew right now between Michelle Lynn, Guido Marzucci. Guido able to hold on, but Michelle still on the inside now, going through turn 9, about to go through turn 10, still side by side into 10. Are they going to keep this up? Michelle trying to go the over-under, has to fall back in line. Some staunch defense by Guido Marzucci.
Up at the front, it is pandemonium. You can see Thor Tulo and DeGuess is still running in P2. Zerba is trying to get the move done on Jesus Rodriguez and gets it done successfully. So I'm curious if these drivers are starting to get a bit more impatient. We also have some lap traffic a little bit farther up the road. That could play a huge role in this fight as well.
Move.
As Zerbez gets the move done into 6. Well done, Matt Zerbez.
I know that can happen, but that doesn't matter right now. It doesn't look like Tulo's underfueled his car because he's going for a move into the corkscrew, and it looked like Rodriguez was trying to get a little fancy on that one as well. And there's a spin.
Oh, contact. This is a heads-up fight between these two. The next farthest car up the road is Ladar. However, I don't think, as Ladar is going through the corkscrew right now, I don't think he's going to play a role in this finish with about 5 minutes left to go on the clock. Barely any time left in this race as Tulo sticking it around the outside, heading through the corkscrew. Is it going to stick this time, or is Zerbez going to hold on to the lead? Tulo, he's going to be able to clear him coming out of the corkscrew. The move when he did, I was expecting him to kind of hold off for the final 2 laps of the race, then really go for it. But we're coming to that soon, you know, looking at the time we have left in this race, coming up to about 3.5 minutes. These drivers feeling more pressure as Zerbez looking to put the move on Tulo that Tulo put on him. Around the outside, that's going to end in tears as Zerbez goes for a spin. They are going to be close, heading down this back straightaway for the final time, about to head into the turn 11 and 12 chicane for the final time, covered by less than a quarter of a second right now. Jacobson, he needs a good run, hang through turn 12. He needs a good run, hang through turn 13. You can see Marzucchi pushing it. Jacobson's pushing it too. That gap is not growing over 3.5 tenths of a second. They are going to be close coming out of turn 13 for the final time. Jacobson needs a good exit. They both need a good exit. They both dip a wheel into the dirt. Coming out of the corner, Jacobson, he is closing. He ain't lifting. He's going to try and get the move done on Marzucchi. Marzucchi going for the block, nearly putting him into the grass. It's going to be side by side coming right to the line. Marzucchi and Jacobson, a photo finish. It's going to be Jeff Jacobson winning it by 4 thousandths of a second over Guido Marzucchi, and right behind, Alan DeGassis wins in another photo finish between himself and Michelle Lynn. 9 thousandths of a second separating those two coming to the line.
Here we go, Randall. Last lap, all gloves are off. Monty to the outside, Soto to the inside. They're going to go 3 wide. We've got 2 cars behind them even, just licking their chops, hoping this happens. Soto gets by at least Pleva, but Monty still on the outside. And now it looks like Green is going to take an outside line. 3 wide, going into 1.
Oh, this could get hairy quick, and there's contact. All 3 make contact, and Green is going to come out the best for it possibly. No, they all managed some Argy bargy through turn 2.
We don't want to go anywhere else other than this lead pack right now. And Plava has one more chance. Monty in the lead through Ascari. Monty to the left. Now he's swerving back right. A bit of Lando Norris vibes here a few years ago. This is going to get really interesting. Where is Plava going to go? Is he going to go anywhere? Is Soto going to push him? Who's going to push who? Looks like Plava to the outside. Monty to the inside. Soto gets a little bit in, a little bit deep. It looks like Plava just around the outside. He might have this, Randall.
Oh, he does. He covers him off. He manages to get the run on the outside done. He's going to win the drag race to the line. Plava is going to steal it from Monty in the last corner. We still got to...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We are on to round 2 of the Week 13 runoffs, and this one here, we're going to be at Summit Point Raceway in the Formula Fords, the F1600s themselves. And ladies and gentlemen, it is very English weather right now, actually very Nova Scotian weather, you could say. It is absolutely pouring it down with rain.
It is indeed, Daniel. It is indeed. Of course, Summit Point Raceway, the spiritual home of the Weekend Warriors, and those who tune in to the Ray Esports series, Greg Ginsberg is, of course, the home circuit commentator around this fair track, all just shy of 2 miles in exact. Not long left in the practice session before we're going to go straight to the race. No qualifying this one. Grid being set manually. So that's going to make things a little bit more interesting, isn't it? To say the least. Not far away, as we mentioned. Well, what a race we've just witnessed. If you weren't with us, well, where were you? Well, worth going back and watching that one. Formula V's USA International Dirt. And 40 cars. That's all you need to know, realistically. That's all you need to know. Says everything. It was just... Well, it was a real feast for the eyes, shall we say. And, well, now, just to make things a bit more interesting, we've got wet weather, haven't we, Daniel? It should be easier in some ways. I look at a slightly smaller grid for this one. I know people still popping in as well. All the usual big names. Jim Bruce winning Masters in the first race. Adam Thompson winning Spec 2. And David Gaspers taking the Spec 1 victory. So it's a case of, can they repeat that again? Can they make it 2 from 2?
Well, it is definitely going to be a very interesting race. I am hearing from a couple of people that quite a few of them are having a hard time actually getting into the race. It sounds like there was like 23 people was only able to get into this session. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening. We may have a couple of little breaks, a couple of little chops there, as that does end the practice session. I've not heard anything on my end. So until we hear a update, we'll be sticking with this one. I do thank Joshua Wilkie. He's given me a little bit of information there as well. I see as well, Jorg Manny, that's one of the seniors, actually the seniors that makes me laugh the hardest. He's trying to get in and saying watch only. Jörg, I actually had the same thing pop up a little bit for me. Close iRacing and reopen it. I found it was being a little bit glitchy there, but certainly we know we had like a 43 car grid in the first race at USA International, and we had people who still wanted to get into that as well. I know there was a couple who didn't manage to quite get in. Currently only showing 23 in this session, so I'm not quite sure exactly what's happening, but until I'm given an update from Stevie Ray, we are going to keep rocking with this one.
Yeah, indeed. As we just drivers taking to the grid now. Let's run you through said grid. Adam Thompson on the front row. Then we'll find lining up. Get there in the end with my words. Behind the Porsche 911 safety car. Yeah, Thompson and Gaspers on the front row. Tufts and Sadro on row 2. Tullo and Race, row 3. While McConnell and Green make up the next row. People start to shuffle around a little bit as they all start to move off. Lorio and Tullo on row 5. Row 6 is Adrian and Jacobson. Perry and DeGassis with Tom Gradwell just make up a 16-car field. A few people haven't taken to the track, being Grider, Ray, Love, Ogburn, Walbolt, and Castro. So, well, yeah, we'll stick with this. We'll see. We might be all change once more. We'll keep you posted on that one, though, as they make their way down to turn one. Wet conditions. Turn one, always a little bit of a perennial meme here. It's Summit Point Raceway. And we're doing it in the wet as well. Prediction time, I believe, Daniel. Are we going to see a big pile up into turn one? Or you think everyone's going to play it a little bit safe and think of a long game here? I mean, 25 minutes of racing to complete. And, well, it's not going to be quite as thick as fast as what we've just experienced. But even so, it's still going to be something quite similar.
I definitely think it's going to be a very colourful race indeed. I am hearing that they are making a new session, so we may end up taking a short break and heading over to that. I'm not quite sure what's happening. I do want to see if Stevie Ray is actually on the grid for this one. I don't believe he is. He's not made the grid at this point, so I'd say he's probably trying to sort something out in the background, but I am going to await a new message on that. Definitely, it's going to be fun. I'm not sure if these guys are informed at this point of what is happening. I see Adam Thompson seems very happy that he's sat on the pole as well, so good news for him. Yeah, we're going to see exactly what happens, and as we get updates, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be sure to keep you in the loop.
We will do indeed. Of course, the grid being formed from the race results from race one. That's why everyone's appearing in the order that they are. As making their way around the track at the moment. Well, we get ready to go racing very, very shortly. And going to be a bit of almost a sorbet to cleanse the palate, this one. As Porsche 911 safety car is in. Let's get ready to go racing here from Summit Point Raceway as we are green. We're racing, and Thompson taking that in. Defensive line on the inside, but here comes Gasper's going to try and do it the long way round. He's got the jump on the American, who's down into third. Has a look at the inside and collects. Thompson collects both Gasper's, and didn't quite catch who the other one was.
I think it was Daniel Tufts.
It was telegraphed. I think it was as well. So Sadro leads Antonio Race up into second place already. Oh, wow, we're only just making it through the first third of the lap. There's all more carnage behind. Cars being collected. And I think that was Nick Tullo and Arthur Lorio all caught up in that one.
Let's have a quick look here, Tim. So here's Nick Tullo's car. You can see a little bit of moisture there, a little bit of over-rotation on that John Player style inspired livery, and a few people definitely did get collected there. These tyres, while they're pretty fun, pretty grippy, that wet weather conditions certainly having an effect of catching a few of the guys out. Oh dear.
Oh, that's very broken suspension, but it's all kicking off at the front by the battle for second place. So we look at another replay. Exactly how it all unfolded.
Oh, there you go.
That's Jason Perry. I think that was sliding off there. Jeff Jacobson collecting a couple more people as well, as he has his own issues. But yeah, this battle for the front, it's all kicking off. Antonio Race leads, but it's Stephen Healy on the right-hand side of your screen right now, trying to defend, moving across to the left side, trying to blind Sadro with spray almost, but he's got McConnell tucked right behind him as they enter into turn one for the second time this evening. As McConnell having to play defensive, Fortullo trying to move all the way around the outside, can't find grip there. We'll have to think twice about it once more.
Look at the absolute spray coming off the back of that car. I'm sure it is definitely making some challenging conditions there. Oh, there's been another accident. Oh dear.
And I am definitely hearing that we are going to go racing again in new session going to come up at 20 past the hour, so about 4 minutes time. For entertainment purposes, though, we'll keep with this shortly. Bit of a sorbet to cleanse the palate with, really, before we move on to the next session, where we should get a fair few more drivers in that one. As you mentioned, there are 40 in race one as well. We can feel the drivers getting messages as they're off left, right, and centre. What's keeping going though? Trying to find the grip out there, trying to get dialed into the conditions so they've got that little bit of an edge when we go racing for the second time.
Well, I do
Hey, guys.
believe Adam Thompson has snuck into the booth. Well, we know that we generally keep him padlocked with chains and stuff like that, but he has managed to find his way in. Adam, do you have an update for us regarding what is happening with these sessions right now?
Yeah, so we do. So this is the first time that Stevie has tried to set something up like this. And basically what's happening here is we've had a few drivers that did not join, could not make the FVs that had signed up for the event. So if they didn't make the FVs, they were not allowed into this event. So now Stevie's going in and trying to edit to get everybody into this next event. So right now we should be set for 3 minutes time. The session should go live. Now that might change again. So we'll see. But right now everything seems to be going okay. Got the custom grid set, and you're going to watch me wreck in the rain.
Oh, we already saw that, Adam.
Oh, I know.
I gotta say, we'll congratulate you on your race 1 win. I was saying a little bit of praise about you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because, you know, I don't need your head getting any bigger. The F1600 is not the most spacious of race cars. But Adam, it's been great to have you in the booth. As always, don't get me wrong, it's your booth. But we'll be catching up with you very, very shortly.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, there you go. Fully confirmed for you. We'll stick with this for the next couple of minutes. Well, I think a real sign of things to come. Well, a spin there from Tufts, and well, we could see that under. When we go racing proper, of course, this is not going to count towards anything. Drivers are raining out there, just as I said, just trying to get dialed in. The Gishers trying to get that bit of a racing edge, aren't they, over some of the drivers who weren't able to get into the session. It's just on board with Kevin Adriani, a Mexican, locked on to the back of Tom Gradwell, slingshots himself across to the driver's right. Gonna get the move done here into turn 1 in the wet. Best to keep off the normal dry line. That's where the grip is out there for you. A bit of a twitch there, having to correct that one. Shuffling quick hands with the steering wheel. Lives to fight another day. Lives to fight another day. And, well, with that sort of coming to the end, what we're going to do now is we're going to head to a quick break. We're going to join what's going to be the new session, and we'll go racing for a second time at Raceway. In the rain, in the Formula Fords, but with a much larger grid. Stay tuned. We'll see you very shortly.
We have in the YouTube chat Drew saying Wilkie can win S2 if he places 5th or better, so we have to keep an eye on Josh Wilkie. Wilkie, keep an eye on Wilkie. He has got to get up to 8th place. Right now he's in 17th. He has what? Oh, speaking of Wilkie, he spins! I don't care about Olace Plava. We've got to go live. Okay, we're live, and there is an absolute hornet's nest up here right now.
With some contact there. Barry goes around. There's a couple more cars off. Plava runs wide. It is absolute bedlam at the top. As I'm hearing in my ear, James Barry looks like a hornet just lurking out the rearview mirrors there of Daniel Tufts. Hopefully he's not too angry, but we have human versus wasp here. Daniel Tufts leading the way, and James Barry is going to make the inside move into turn 2. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Yes, he's going to get the move done. New leader James Barry, Daniel Tufts going to tuck back in or try to tuck back in. Soren Garrett is there, and now Tufts is bringing it back for turn 3. Going to have the inside line. No way. What a fight.
What is happening here? This is great defense by Daniel Tufts if he can make this work, and he pushes. Oh my goodness, pushes Barry out wide. Don't look though, because Soren Garrett says thank you very much. I'm going to try to go for that second position now. Soren Garrett decides to back out. James Barry back on the attack again, Randall.
They're going to be going too wide into the kink. This is going to be either epic or a disaster, possibly both. Barry with the lead into the kink manages to secure the lead forward now, but what a fight.
More laps here, Randall, including this one. We shall see when we cross the line here. I would assume that it's going to be white flag, as Lau is trying the same move over and over again. But he's there this time.
He's there. He does carry the momentum out of turn 2. He's going to have the inside run to turn 3. Finally gets this move done. Just about. He's still going to be defending the inside for turn 4, but he should be easily able to cover that off. But look now, Kevin Adrian has a run. Lau's going to go defensive, make Kevin Adrian take to the outside. They're getting close to some contact there. Lau taking an extremely defensive line and gonna be able to be clear of Kevin Adrian on the run up to turn 6.
But look at this, the field fanning out 3 wide, going down the San Posey straightaway. DeGassis, Montgomery, and Brewster. Gotta be 3 wide. Brewster on that inside line. Who is going to prevail and take the lead of the race? Montgomery backs out of it. Brewster on that inside line. He's gonna hold strong and true and take the lead of this race.
Question is, can he hold on to it? Are they gonna go 3 wide again? They're thinking 4 wide now, Ron. It doesn't look like they're going to, though.
Harold Szczynski, Poulin, Latarulo, and Wolbald is still hot a little bit farther behind, but look at this. This is a fantastic view running on board with Jesus Rodriguez, the driver of the 76 car. He's got a fantastic run. He had to back out of it. They're coming to take the white flag this time by. I feel really bad for our producer, Daniel Zippy. Salmon, welcome here to Slow Motion, man. You've had one hell of a job on your hands throughout this broadcast. And look at this, Montgomery weaving like it's going out of style, coming to take the white flag. It's only one more lap around here for the season finale of the Formula V Weekend Warriors Championship, and Montgomery leading them off into turn number 1 and 2 for the final time. Brewster and Rodriguez, they're battling for the final 2 podium spots. Look at DeGassis and Poulin. They may have a good run. Szczynski and Fitzgerald involved in this fight as well. These drivers are battling hard, and look at DeGassis trying to make up a spot. He's going to be on that outside line, hang through turn number 4. Will he be able to stick it? He's going to have a great run going on to the Paul Newman straightaway for the final time. But with those two battling, oh my God, they are still side by side. They finally cleared out heading into turn number 5, but with that battling, it's turned it into a 2-car fight between Montgomery and Rodriguez. The driver leading in S2, the driver leading in S1. Rodriguez, a presumptive champion in the premier class here from the Formula V Weekend Warriors. He wants to end this season in style and end it with a bang, but look at the gases. He's got a fantastic run. These drivers gonna be bending their floor pan. Look at the weaving, look at the gases. All these drivers battling hard, trying to grab the final victory of this season, and as they crash, coming across the line and barrel roll, it was Montgomery who won it by only 0.005 of a second. Chris Montgomery was able to win it by the skin of his teeth.
Unfreaking real. The fact that every driver crossed the line where they were coming across before that happened.
Pretty significant whack for a lot of the drivers involved. And look at that, the gas is the meat in that sandwich. And oh my God, that is... I've seen some very bizarre photo finishes in my time broadcasting. That has to be at the tippy top of the list. Montgomery and Rodriguez crossed the line, and look at Brian Szczynski with some aerial acrobatics.
Now down 2 spots from where he started. As we see, is that Wilkie ahead that gets off into the gravel. He's going to rejoin. He's going to lose a couple spots, and Manny comes spinning across, and nowhere for Wilkie to go. Look, and we're seeing now in the chat, Andrew Love is a master who chooses to run in S2. So him and Jim Brewster actually work together. As we see Andrew Love. Look at that. We're not going to call this the commentator curse. We're going to call this the chat curse. We're blaming you, Ray Esports.
The Stevie shotgun has indeed been fired, and Andrew Love was the innocent bystander. It's fair to say he was shot down, but Michael McConnell right now, he's currently there fighting with Daniel Tufts and Antonio Reese, and it looks like Reese has managed to hold on to that second position, albeit for how long. Daniel Tufts got an absolutely fantastic draft. He's side by side with McConnell. They're going to be hit. Look, there you go. Tufts is there on the inside. Has he got the move done? Yes, it looks like he has.
Waiting for that green flag, waiting for Maurizio to go, and I hear the throttles being applied, and Maurizio is off, gets clear of P2 easily off the start, and begins to blend out 3 wide into turn 1. Look out, this could be dangerous, and so far, so good.
Well, I definitely thought that was going to end a lot worse. 3, maybe even 4 wide at some points there, but by some miracle, Mauricio Naselli's managed to hold on to it. As we see, there is a little bit of chaos there happening. It looks like Felix Samo's getting caught and stuff. I see Antonio Reese and Ales Plaver. Ales Plaver's currently gone off. He's taken a seat. Oh, Carnage in the back. That's Tom Gradwell involved in that. Brad Carfart as well.
But anyways, we do have another overtake, maybe for the lead. Barry back onto the inside, going into the hairpin here. Is he going to be able to get it done? Looks like we got another move here. Christian Kabenka on Jorg Mighty as well. Everything's popping off at the hairpin. That is pretty warm, especially for these cars as we've got a battle. It's going to go 3 wide into turn 3, I believe, and it looks like James Barry overtakes both Masters drivers to get that lead back. Now they're 2x2.
Well, I personally think that Jason Green in the 160 car has got the best seat at the minute, because these guys, they are definitely going hard at it, and I think he's actually playing it pretty smart at this point. Sure, he could try and force the issue and go 3 wide, but if I was him, I would stay way back out of that battle, just try and stay on the tail end and potentially try and save some. Well, it's definitely a close battle, and you can see here it's exactly as we predicted. You know, once the field starts to spread out, you end up with these own little clumps of tracks. You see one of the cars going a little bit wide there, but able to hold on. That is... Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're going to give this another shot. So Stevie, the man behind the series, he has managed to fix that. It sounded like what was happening is anybody who didn't manage to get into the Formula V race, they were unable to actually join the Formula 1600 race. So a little bit of a technical issue there. And I believe it wasn't, you know, out of lack of effort. The track actually maxed out there. But the good news is we're back and we are here at Summit Point, and it is absolutely pouring.
It is indeed. Attempt 2 at race 2. Much larger grid, like we were expecting. What, some 40-odd cars once more. And, what, 1 minute 50 seconds left in this practice session before we go racing once again. Interestingly, Fortello setting the fastest lap so far. And Florian Utz as well, going quick. Top driver in Spec 2. Highest driver set a time in practice at the moment is, for Masters, Alan de Gassius, who's 10th overall at the moment. There is the American, 128.09. Comparison, a 126.15 from Tullow, who's some 1500s faster, based on best time, than Michael McConnell. As you're speaking to Dave Gaspers at the end of race 1, never raced in the rain before. Does have a 9.9k I rating, so I'm sure he'll be utilising all of that knowledge that he's developed in dry racing to try and translate it and learn on the fly. As Daniel Tufts going second there in practice with 126.3, only some 700ths of a second faster than McConnell. Well, they've got some big old names in here who run well in the Formula 4s. Jorg Mighty, who wasn't with us in race 1, wants to watch out for. Josh Wilkie normally runs quite well in the Spec 2 category too. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on, Daniel. That's what I say.
Well, I am looking very quickly here. I see Trenton Kramer is in the session now. Trenton Kramer, he actually has a Mini Cooper B-Spec SCCA driver and a prep shot with Race Car Rentals, and I believe that is who looked after Megan Overstreet when she made her real-life racetrack debut not that long ago. And then not only that, she got a podium as well, so it's great to see he's here as well. It's also good to see Jorg Manny. Now, he's one of the masters in the division, was not able to get into the Formula Vs. As I say that, the guys are disappearing, and we are going to try and run through a very, very quick grid for you while these guys do a little bit of a pace lap.
There we go. There we go. Bobby West on the front row, according to this one. Jeff Jacobson on the front row with him. Andrew Love and Josh Wilkie on row 2. Matthias Marion and Brian Stasinski on row 3. Row 4 sees Old Masters row. It's Marnie and Ray. So I watch those two go to battle. Gaspers and Warbot are on row 5 and running out your top 10. Then it's Fortello and Dudu Castro. Row 7, that's Arthur Lorio and Michael McConnell. Row 8, Jason Green and Dan Word, Stephen Healy and Paul Stevens on row 9. While row 10, your top 20 completed by Dave Ogburn and Adam Bradshaw. Dan Sadro and Florian Utz on row 11. Row 12, it's the all-Australian row of Tom Gradwell and Brad Cathcart. Row 13, unlucky for some, let's hope not, for Trenton Kramer and Russell Telker, while Kurt Nunes and Dan Stosinski on row 14. Row 15, your top 30 Brandon Roseborough and Josh Justice. Keep an eye out for those two coming through the field. Likewise for Nick Tullo and Michelle Lynn, who start on row 16. Row 17, Stevie Ray and Paul Jackson. Jason Grider and Jason Perry. The Jason row. Adjacent to one another. Love a appalling pun. Love it. Row 19 is Thompson and Tufts. Kevin Adrian and Degasius complete the top 40 on row 20, when Jim Brewster starting on the penultimate spot. Although that has shuffled around since that, which I did wonder as I was reading it out.
Yeah, it did seem kind of weird because Thompson is P1.
I think that's where we set the grid manually. So, okay, so your front row, Thompson and Tufts, Gasper and Brewster, Gasper's and Sadro, Brewster and Race, Nick Tullo, Stephen Healy. So drivers to keep an eye out for. Dina Castro starting 20th. He will come through the field. He's got a lot of pace as that guy. Who else is well out of place? Brandon Roseborough and York Marnie, 35th and 36th, respectively for those two. Paul Jackson and Anne Bradshaw, they're starting right at the back as well. They'll come through the field. So will Trent and Kramer. I mean, realistically, this is really jumbled up. And we're in the wet rubber. So this is going to be survival of the fittest in race 1. This is survival of how quick you are to adapt here in race 2.
Well, it's definitely going to be a fun combination. And certainly, so far for this event, it's definitely both been, events that I would want to drive. It looks like a lot of fun, and Summit Point Raceway is a really good track. The Formula 1600, very, very fun around here, and then adding the rain is a extra variable indeed. These drivers being basically going through an assault course of challenges, not just with each other, but with the track conditions as well.
This is the Porsche 911 safety car leading everyone around at the moment. Wipers fully on that car. It's not such a luxury here in single seaters. Those virtual overalls were getting very, very damp out there. Very wet conditions, and there's not long left for that to pull in. Just having a little look at the weather. Well, it's going to remain like this throughout. Winds of 6 kilometers an hour. That's around about 4 miles an hour. Track temperature 22 degrees Celsius. That's low 80s. But with Porsche 911 safety car in, let's get ready to go racing here in race 2 as we are green. We are away. It's a repeat of the race down to turn 1. Thompson moves to the outside, but it's Tufts and Gaspers moving on for a big twitch on the brakes there from Thompson, who's going to carry straight on and loops it all the way through the gravel. But Tufts and Gaspers make it through, whereas they were collected by Thompson in our first attempt at going live. Brewster under a lot of pressure in the back from Sadro and Race. It's nose to tail for the entirety of the field there on behind them as our top two get away. Already a second and a half clear of Jim Brewster. But what do you got, Jim? Can you try and defend this way from the likes of Sandra and Race? Defensive to the inside there, trying to find that wet track. That's where the grip is here at Summit Point Raceway. In fact, any race in the wet. But as they head through the carousel, this is going to be treacherous. So patient with the throttle, waiting to get on it, avoid those cars. You can feel how tentative he's being. Meanwhile, up front, Tufts and Gaspers go to wheel, start banging them left, right, and centre. But it's Tufts in front of Gaspers still as they head up towards the final corner. Well, I like the animals coming onto Noah's Ark behind there, 2x2. Well, it's pretty much biblical weather out there as Tufts ahead of Gasper. That could change around, but Brewster under the mounting pressure. Antonio Rice pulls to left of your screen. Drivers right, but McConnell trying to make it 3 wide. Brewster clips the grass there, almost gets it sideways, loses the momentum, but who's going to reach turn 1 in 3rd place? McConnell on the outside, looking for the late break, going in deep. Race on the inside, though. They still remain side by side as they head out of 1, and it's Race. He's got the momentum with him. He holds on to that one. And well, for now.
And you see a little bit of understeer there in the wet conditions from McConnell. He's going to push a little bit and closing up on the back of Antonio Reese and deciding this is not the place I want to make a pass. And I got to say, I don't blame him. Going through this corner in the dry, you can go almost flat with a little bit of lift. And you see there's a little bit almost of understeer there. Manages to keep it in check as they're heading around this long right-hander. It's like a double apex, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Tim. But definitely a really tough, challenging corner. And you need to focus on getting the best exit you can. As you see McConnell understeering a little bit there, Reese understeering a little bit ahead of him as well. A fishtail there from Reese as he's doing everything he can to keep this car on the track. Is this going to open up the opportunity for the 62 car furball racing car of Michael McConnell?
We did have a brief change around for the lead. Tufts did lose first place from Gaspers. They swapped back around Jim Brewster. Well, the perennial cork in the bottle once more. Badro queuing up. He couldn't get it done last time around. Reese and McConnell made their way through. But there's Healy, there's Green, there's Adrian, there's Fortolo all involved there as well. Brewster's going to get away with this one. He'll hold on the position, but well, they're all queuing up, taking their tickets to the cheese counter right now. Everyone behind as they're still side by side, still trying to sort themselves out in this one. As we look back from Sadro, that's Fortullo, who's only a 10th behind us. Jason Green involved too, as they nearly collect one another. Wow, the 51 lives to fight another day, and I'm not sure about Jason Green right now. That's Kevin Adrian just behind him, the Mexican, trying to find his way past. There's Thompson down 12 places from that start. Trenton Kramer's up 12.
That's Kevin Adrian there with the spin. Not quite able to get it round. Has a little bit of over rotation and drops back through the grid. The rest of these guys are able to carry on. Daniel Sadro able to keep going. Battles going on throughout the field though. We see another pack of cars emerging just here. It's Nick Tuller, and right behind him he has Arthur Luero. He's in a little bit of a position right now. He's getting pressure behind him from Adam Thompson. That is the SMB car, ladies and gentlemen. Not that we're biased here, but Thompson looking to really make a recovery after falling off in turn one.
Gasper's leading Spec 1. He's back ahead of Tubbs. Healy leading Spec 2. Race leads Masters. He's 4th overall. He's running strong. Healy 6th overall at the moment. He's at 3 places. At 5 in class as well. As Wilkie, Adrian and Roseborough looks like they've had a bit of a shuffle around too. Further down through the field. But Tufts, 34 tenths behind our leader Gaspers. Oh, wow. It's all kicked off down at turn 1. Jason Green right in the thick of it. I think that might have been... Oh, who was that who carried on there? Was that Fortullo, potentially? I think it might have been.
We've got a quick replay here for you, Tim.
Oh, sideways, a riding at turn 1. How did you keep hold of that one, Fortullo? You lucky, lucky boy.
I got to admit, for style points, it was up there.
Oh, it was well up there. Showcasing the side of that Brabham Esports livery in that spectacular style. Jason Green now on the heels of Dan Sadro, trying to find his way past. Oh, big moment there. Holding tight there, Jason Green. Holding tight like a bucking bronco. Stephen Healy's been caught up in something. Arthur Lorio too, further down through the field. Antonio Ray setting the fastest time last time around, and they're coming around once more. This is what happened to Healy. It's okay for the moment. There's Fortullo on the outside. Did they make contact? Oh no, he loops it by himself. Comes back across, collects one. Well, just the one he collected, and I think he was lucky not to collect more. But Brewster, Nick Tullo, Healy, Roseborough all in the pits already. Likewise, Bradshaw, Jason, Adrian Love, and Brad Cathcart.
Well, this is exactly what happened to Adam Bradshaw. You see, whoa, huge slide there. And around he goes. Obviously, the wet weather is there catching these guys out, and understandably so. But as we have a look back at the lead, we have a battle going on, or at least I thought we did. That gap has just opened up once more. Actually, there we go. Let's have a look. It's McConnell and Tufts.
Yeah, Tufts has had a big issue somewhere on track. He's must have come off because look at that. Well, he's lost 2.6 seconds to Gaspers, but also McConnell has made his way past. So there's clearly been a big moment there for Tufts out on track. board with him. McConnell, who's really a man on the move right now. Fastest lap last time around, and says time started to come down. Drivers, yeah, start to bring these cars up to temperature. Start to dial themselves into the track, just keeping well away from where all the rubber is on the inside of the final turn. It seems like they're missing the apex by a country mile, but that's the fastest way round in the wet. But here we go, side by side, with Tufts on the right, McConnell on the inside, on the left-hand side of your screen. Can he hold on? No, he can't. Beautiful move right round the outside from Tufts. And well, now he's going to make up 2.2 seconds to David Gaspers, the man who's never run in the rain before. Could he make it a debut victory in the rain? Well, time will tell. Time will tell. We're 8 minutes complete out of 25.
Well, it does look like Antonio Reese is currently having a good time. He is leading the Masters division right now in this event and currently up in 4th place overall, having a absolutely fantastic drive. And he is in clean air as well. He can see McConnell ahead of him. He's about 2.5 seconds up the road, but behind him is Jason Green, about 6.2 second gap there. So it's fair to say he's in some clean air. He's just got to focus on bringing this car home and keeping things nice and clean and in check.
If I know Antonio Race, though, he won't be doing that. He'll be pushing hard. He'll want to get onto the podium overall. There's your Spec 2 leader, Florian Lutz, who's up 16 places, incredibly. That's only really eclipsed by Trenton Kramer, who I said to watch out for him. He's up 20 so far, into 7th overall. Florian's up 8 places in Spec 2, though, to the top of the pile. Arthur Laurier and Michelle Lynn, 2nd and 3rd in class at the moment. They're 12th and 13th, so they're not far behind at all. And they'll be weighing on the German driver's mind at the moment. And undoubtedly is a bit of a moment in the foreground there. And that was the 9.04 of Alan Degassius, running 2nd in Masters. Having a big moment, just moving through in the foreground of shot. But it's all happening behind him. Castro, Lorio, as Castro holds on to it. Dudu getting that one done and holding on to 11th, but for how much longer? Because, well, the second driver in Spec 2 is making his life an absolute torrid time. Dudu normally used to running right up the front, being one of that lead pack that's heading away and battling for race victory, but not tonight. Down in 11th here in the wet. Of course, didn't pay pass in race 1, so he's had to do it the hard way. He's up 13 positions. He's starting 24th. He's into 11th. And, well, what can he do? Because he's got 2 seconds to make up to Alan Degassius. You can just see there heading through the background of shots.
We got a little bit of a battle going on here between Fortulla and Jason Green. Now, Ford does drive a Formula V in real life. It's fair to say the 1600 has a little bit more go in it, and this definitely isn't Brands Hatch. As you see, a little bit of correction there on corner exit, and he has closed that gap down to Jason Green to about 7/10 of a second. But right behind him is Trenton Kramer. He's currently applying pressure to the back of Fortulla and looking to try and make a move on the inside. He's there. He's got the corner. Can he make it stick? You can see Tuller there on the outside trying everything he can. Green just ahead. It looks like they did close down that gap on Green just marginally, but they got to decide, are they going to fight each other or try and move further up the field as this race progresses? With 10 minutes gone, 15 minutes to go.
Oh, Laurier's had a bit of an incident, so that's handy in terms of Dudu Castro. It just gets him off his back. But right now, talking about his on back, as you say, Jason Green, he's got the pressure being applied onto him by Kramer, the man on the move at 21 spots. Your highest climber so far. Our second highest instantly, Brandon Roseborough, who has already been into the pits, interestingly. He's up 19, having started 39th and into 20th. So still a lot of positions to climb for him, but the car's quite spaced out. That could maybe hinder him a little bit in terms of gaining more spots, but Jason Green, that's, well, and also, actually, Tufts has really caught up to the back of Gasper. I've only just spotted that, and he's brought McConnell along for the ride. That gap was 2.4 seconds. It's now down to 6/10. Tufts is, well, he's toughing this one out. He's a man on a mission. He's got the bit between his teeth, and now it's down to half a second.
Well, this battle for first place could indeed start to get a little bit interesting. You see Jörg Manny was there in the background as well, one of the masters. Definitely not where he wants to be in 31st position, even my apologies. But Gasper's really working hard at the minute, you know, definitely feeling a little bit of a wiggle from the car there. As you see, traffic ahead, Matthias Marin is right there ahead of him. He's going to be quick to get out of the way in that Renault Formula style paint job. And yep, pulls off, almost has contact there. It's fair to say, very, very tense moment indeed.
Oh, it was looking a little bit close as well behind for Tufts, who had to brave it out there. Got it done around the outside, drove around the outside, but McConnell, unfortunately, losing out in that battle. He's dropped, well, quite a bit of time, but look at Tufts. Locked in, locked on, absolutely engaged. Laser focus right now onto Gaspers. He pulls to driver's right and sweeps around, and Gaspers, amazingly, has no reply for it whatsoever. As we hit half race distance, it's Tufts with the advantage.
Well, he has it as it stands right now, but that draft will be very influential going down the start-finish straight as they go and blast by Daniel Wood there, one of the lapped vehicles. Actually, no, that was Nick Tiller. My apologies there, who they've just gone and shot by. Very, very good sportsmanship getting out of the way there. And you can see these cars quivering under braking, just trying to get that car slowed down. And definitely would be a soggy day for a driver. As you see, Gasper's getting a much tighter line through there and able to close up the gap back onto Tufts. Daniel versus David. David versus Goliath, perhaps, in this interesting battle here in the F1600s. This special event for Week 13, the Weekend Warriors Runoffs.
But look at McConnell. Well, I'd say that as he just uses a few more attempts there. It's almost sideways there for Gaspers as he must have gasped himself, and there's nearly contact into the tight left-hander as Gaspers prods, probes, tries to find a way past, can't get it done, and has to live to fight another day, find another opportunity.
Well, you can see just how much these cars are pitching and fighting in that water. It's fair to say there is definitely a little bit of standing water on the track, and these guys definitely trying to find the places where there is grip to be had. And it's not like these cars are full slick tires either, so in some ways that I'd say is an advantage in this scenario. Don't get me wrong, they are dry tires, but certainly they do have grooves, so thankfully able to clear a little bit of that water away from the center of the tire. But you see there, McConnell, he's not far behind either, just half a second in it, and he's really going to be enjoying that slipstream as it stands, may be able to get into this battle for first place.
He's closed up, isn't it? He's managed to eat a bit more time out of him. It's down to 6 tenths here, but this is where he seems to struggle. Also behind them, Green just losing out to Kramer. You might catch it in the background, not quite there, but they're 10 seconds down the road. Brandon Roseborough just setting fastest lap of the race, 125.27. He's just ran half a second faster than our lead group are, but then they are battling away at the moment as McConnell really struggling in this first half of the track. And he loses more time, but it's from now onwards, this is where he's quick. This is where he makes up the time, but can he have a net gain here as our top two further away than they once were? Tufts, breathing room. Unlike this time last lap, it's 7 tenths, well, it was 6 tenths, it's now 7 tenths of a second, but Gaspers just grills it in. Oh, a big moment for Tufts, but he keeps it collected. He had time in the bank. He's lost a couple of attempts. Gaspers, he's going to be in the slipstream down the front straight, Daniel. Is this going to be a change for the lead? I think it might be incoming.
Well, he's definitely in a prime real estate position to try and make that move, that big long straight, giving him plenty of opportunity to drop. And it does become a battle of the late breakers, but just how far late do you want to break? You know, you've got these wet conditions, and not only that, if he overshoots, Tufts is going to be right in the firing line. You've got to weigh up that risk versus reward as he tries to make that pass for P1.
Lovely drive off the corner there from the 21 on the inside, finding grip when no one's really found it much so far, but they're still side by side, neck and neck, nose and nose, wheel to wheel between the pair of them. But it's Tufts who comes through, and it's a beautiful switchback here from Gaspers if he can make it work. But they're into a right-hander next, and Tufts bails. He just dips out of it. He tucks in behind Gaspers. Oh, well, they're thinking about the long term, but that clock is ticking down with a tick and a tock. We're already 17 minutes out of the 25. These opportunities are starting to run out, and they're going to run out faster and faster as this race goes on, as Roseborough up another place there. He's up 15, he's up 24 now. So 25, in fact, as he makes his way past race 1 winner Adam Thompson. And that now hands him, for race 2, the Andres Bertoni Award. He's up 25 spots. Trenton Kramer, though, up 23. I mean, if Roseborough hadn't have had to dip into the pits, you have to wonder, don't you, Daniel, just where he would have been.
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of those things where, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, how close do you want to get? But I'm looking around as well. I see more battles happening. This time it's between Antonio Ruiz. Now, he is leading the Masters division right now. Dan Sadro, I believe, is... Nope, my apologies. It's Dan Sadro and Florian Utz is who I'm watching right now. Florian currently leading the S2s with Dan Sadro right ahead of him. So having a battle for, well, trying to take over one of the S1 drivers there and move up for the field. And you can see there, it looks like he's going to go on the outside, try and get round Dan Sadro. That's Florian Utz, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying everything he can. And it looks like he's got that move done going into turn 1.
Yes, and making progress as well, which is really impressive. Struggled in race 1, didn't he, did the German? And since then, you know, clearly Formula 4's in the wets around Summit Point is proving to be OP for him, leading the Spec 2 category by quite a margin as well over Michelle Lynn, who's in 2nd. Thompson in 3rd in that category. Masters, Antonio Ray still leads that one. He's 7th overall, and Agassi is 2nd. He's 10th overall. 3rd, you have to go down to 17th to find Gary Walbolt, who's sitting comfortable for that one at the moment. There he is. But I think, quite possibly, Brandon Roseborough is shaping up another move. Actually, no, apologies. He's already got it done. That's Michelle Lynn, who he's now in front of. He's just picking them off one by one here, isn't he? But 9 seconds now up to Bobby West. I think we're not going to see him make any more moves. But never say never, as Gaspers just sets fastest lap of the race.
Well, that's a great lap by Gaspers. Roseborough held it very briefly there as well, so it's fair to say these guys are going at it. As you see, a little bit of lap traffic there. That's Joshua Wilkie. He's one of the producers here at SMB. It's good to see him.
That's Paul Jackson, in fact.
Oh, Paul Jackson.
Making their way past. That's all right. Don't worry.
Wilkie's further up.
Different liveries. Yeah, he is. He's the next. He's the next one. They've got 4 seconds yet, but the rate this lot are going at, they'll eat him up for breakfast. There's a big move twitch there from Tufts, who's. I don't know about you, Daniel. Just seems to be falling off as the race is going on. It's almost like he's trying too hard at this stage, and that's what's costing him time. And McConnell's sort of fallen by the wayside. Dare I say it almost feels like this one is Gaspers to lose.
Yeah, definitely at this point, you've got to try and weigh up the risk versus reward. Just try and bring that car home. And the lap traffic as well can definitely add another variable. Don't get me wrong, if you catch them going down the main straight, it's a pretty easy move, done and dusted. But if you catch them in the later part of the track where you got the tight and twisties, definitely a little bit of a bigger challenge. But certainly sportsmanship is good here. Over, as I see there's been another little bit of action. I think Trenton Kramer has just crashed.
God. Yeah, there was a car across the track. Was it Alan DeGassis in the background? I just caught getting sideways across the track. But this is what, as you say, what happened to Kramer, who's lost a whole heap of places. He's a little bit unsighted by that traffic, maybe. Oh, no, he's had his own incident. Oh, and that's Fortullo. Wow, a big thump from behind from the Brit onto the American. As well, everyone having moments out there of their own.
Oh, this is as we were saying, you know, the risk versus reward, ladies and gentlemen. And that one there, if you push the car a little bit too hard.
Daniel. Tufts had another moment because look at the gap. It's 5.7 seconds, and that's to McConnell. Tufts into 3rd. So yeah, clearly pushing too hard as Gasper's now setting fastest lap after fastest lap. He's not hanging around. And pulling away even more so. So this is what happened to Tufts.
Well, that looks like they are going around the final corner there. And, yep, just a little bit of a slippery spot.
It wasn't DeGassis, like I said. It was Tufts who had the big moment.
You see there, McConnell just trying to slip round and thankfully able to avoid that. But one of the more unusual spots we've seen the drivers caught out so far at the end of the like the second straight, we've seen them getting caught out. As that looks like Tufts is indeed going into the pits. That's the end of his race, really.
Oh no! Right at the depth. So close to the end with 22 seconds gone. Florian Utz and Antonio Ray, Spec 1 leader versus Masters leader. Well, look at this. They're all queued up. They're side by side. You can barely separate them by cigarette paper. The lot of them. Alan Gassius right involved in this too. A bit of lap traffic as well. Gradwell and Nick Tullow in the mix too. They're well seasoned to the Weekend Warriors. They won't want to get involved in this battle. But here comes Utz on race, and this could be another position game for the Spec 2 drivers. He heads up the inside, and that's the move done, and that's him into the top 5.
Well, you say that those lap cars of Gradwell and Tuller, they are also having their own battle as well. So definitely a very interesting dynamic indeed. Just because you're lapped doesn't mean you are out of the race completely. But it looks like Florian has certainly got Antonio Reese, the master himself. He's beaten there for now. But for how long? Reese is definitely not going to be keen to sacrifice that position. He'll want to get that back. But again, risk versus reward, ladies and gentlemen. You got to decide how badly do you want that back. I mean, these guys are currently both class leaders, but Reese has a different problem. He has the pressure of Alan Dagasis not far behind him. 1.7 seconds in the gap. You know, can he hold him off in the final 2 minutes of the race?
Well, we're about to find out, aren't you? Like you say, only 2 minutes left. 2 to go here from Summit Point Raceway. That means they're going to finish off this lap. Just looking at where our race leader, David Gaspers, is in relation to them. So he's on his penultimate lap right now, looking at the clock versus where we are. But we did get caught out earlier on in the V's at USA International on the dirt. So, you know, never say never. This could be his final lap, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And that's the crucial point in this one, and I'm sticking by it. As Florian Utz coming under a bit of pressure for Antonio Race on. Bobby West caught up in a battle, or was, but that's... although Trenton Kramer's come off, I think. West as well. It's all kicking off right at the end with a minute to go.
Well, here we can see exactly what happened to Bobby West in that play seat sponsored car. And that looks like that's Kramer ahead of him. Nowhere to go. Bobby just
the car rolling back across the track, and wow, that's what's put pay to Bobby West's race and Trenton Kramer's. Trenton Kramer, after running in the top 5, that's that elevated green up into there. He's running 4th. As white flag will be in the air for our race leader, David Gaspers. Yeah, there you go. I can see Barney raving it profusely. He's got 7.5 seconds to play with. You just need to bring this one home casually and calmly, David.
Well, as we have a look further back, Florian Utz is still having a little bit of a battle there with Antonio Reese, about half a second in it. Is Reese going to be able to close down that gap? Don't get me wrong, it is S2 versus Masters Division in this scenario. How hard are they going to want to fight? But don't get me wrong, just because they're not in the same championship doesn't mean that they aren't still viable competition. And these guys as well, they all run together. But it looks like Antonio Reese has got a new problem. It's Alan Dagasis right behind him. This is a position he's going to have to fight for. Dagasis challenging him for that Masters lead as they head down into turn 1.
It's all or nothing roller that dies from Dagasis, isn't it, on this final lap? He's the man on the move. He's up 14 places overall, 8 in class. And now we get to find, can he make it one more when he counts? Antonio Race, though, he's been around a while. Someone who used to be like Mr. Saturday, great in qualifying. True in me saying, not the best in the racing conditions, but that's all changed over the last few seasons. So he looks to mount a challenge himself, right? He's trying to weigh this up over whether he tries to overtake Florian Utz, but across the line, David Gaspers, he's going to take the checkered flag. He's going to win here in race 2 from Summit Point Raceway in the Formula Fords. McConnell 2nd, Tufts will come home 3rd, but it's all about that race for that Masters win. What's happening, Daniel?
Well, you can see Reese is still going at it, and Dagasis is back about 6 seconds. So Reese has shifted his focus now. He's having to go, and a little bit of a wobble there with Florian Utz. He's got to make sure he doesn't take each other out there. As you see, it looks like Dagasis not quite able to get it. Oh, what's going on there? Utz kind of pushed off a little bit there. Who was that now?
That was Paul Jackson, who was trying to get out of the way, and inadvertently cost Utz that 5th place as he loses. He drops down to 7th there as Race and Dagasis, well, gambled on staying on the left side of the track. Jackson trying to do the right thing and trying to get out of the way inadvertently costs us the 5th place, but crucially still holds on to that Spec 2 win by a comfortable margin. Lynn down in 13th as, well, this is not settled for that last place on the podium in Masters. Brewster versus Warbolt.
Oh, it's going to be a drag race. Oh, somebody's come around behind him. It's going to be a drag race to the finish there. As we see, it looks like Brewster able to hold on to it from Warbolt, but only just, you know, definitely a fun, interesting race for sure. But let's see if we can get a grid up. Grid? Try again. Results up very, very shortly. Let's see if this is going to pop up for us. So just bear with me 1 second.
Might take a second. Russell Talcott just crossed the line. Wait for them to populate. Yeah, Antonio Race. There we go. We've got them up. Gaspers, confirmation, your race winner here today by 9.1 seconds. Daniel Tufts could have gone for the victory, but in the end, down into 3rd. Green 4th. Antonio Race picking up that Masters victory ahead of 2nd place to Gassius in class 14. Utz could have finished in the top 5, but in the end, it was only 7th. Jackson trying to do the right thing, get out the way, and in the end, end up tripping over the Germanic driver who still holds on to that Spec 2 victory. Fortullo, Sadro and Roseborough up 29 spots, having started 39th, comes home in 10th. Justice and Castro, a good drive from both those two, 19 and 12 spots respectively. Michelle Lynn, 2nd in Spec 2, 13th. Brewster holding on to that last podium place in Masters with 14th, just beating Gary Warbolt. Thompson, 3rd in Spec 2 to complete his set of class podiums and also the overall winner in Race 1. Telka and Arthur Lorio take it up to 18th, with 19th being Stevie Ray and Stephen Healy rounding out your top 20. 21st was Brian Stasinski with Jackson, Gradwell, Nick Tullo, Kurt Nunes, Trenton Kramer. Well, if he hadn't have had his own incidents, he would have been well up there. No, sorry, he finished further down. Sorry, I hadn't quite adjusted my end. Brad Cathcart, 26. Jackson, Adrian Stevens, Wood running out the top 30. Wilkie, Kramer, Bobby West, Love, Grider, and I'm just waiting for update more. And yeah, but it's all into the retirements now. Marin, Dan Stozinski, Jorg Marnie are going to be gutted by that one. So will Jason Perry. David Ogburn in 14th and Anne Bradshaw, the 41st and last driver, although a lot of those retirements towards the end. Let's have a chat to some of our drivers. First up, let's talk to a race winner, David Gaspers. David, congratulations. Your first ever wet weather race and, well, a victory. I mean, I think that's you done with wet weather races forever, 100% record.
Yeah, it was really good for learning. In the beginning of the race, I think both Daniel and Michael were faster than me, but at least Daniel made some mistakes. But after he passed me again and I saw some of his lines, I tried to copy a bit of that, and that definitely helped a lot. Before that, I was struggling to get below 26s, and in the end, I even managed to do a 24.
Yeah, 24-4, fastest lap of the race, and by a considerable margin. Next fastest, I'm just looking at it, was a 25-1, which was set, no, 25-0 dead, 1 minute 25 dead. That's set by Brandon Roseborough. So yeah, 6/10 faster than him nearly. That's a big old margin. I mean, heading into the SRFs, that's your real forte, isn't it? 5 times champion in the SRF Weekend Warriors. We're going to make it a full house of Spec 1 victories.
Well, I finished 2nd in the first race.
Well, yeah, well, you still won Spec 1. Adam Thompson was Spec 2. So I'm trying to help you here, David.
Yeah, I just go by overall position.
Yes, just not quite the overall race win, but yeah, is it going to be the 3rd class win, for the 3rd Spec 1 win of the evening in the SRF shortly, do you think, or you're not feeling so confident?
I have no idea what we are racing. If it's something like a dirt oval again, it doesn't hurt me, but I know the spec race, so it's hard to say. In general, I I think one of my strengths is that I don't need a lot of practice, and that also showed in this race, I think. Like for official races, it's often that I do like 5 laps and maybe 3 or 4 tenths below my pace at the end of a practice. So I think that will help me.
Definitely. Well, congratulations, David Gaspers, race winner here today in race 2. Daniel, who have you managed to grab for a chat?
Let's take a very quick peek. Who have we got in there? I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab Antonio. Well, not literally, but I'm going to try and grab Antonio Reese here. Antonio, it's good to see you here and back, sir. How did that go for you, driving in the very soggy conditions here at Summit Point?
Hey, good night. Yeah, it was a good race on the rain. So he was trying to stay alive and not make mistakes, but I did some mistakes, so it cost me. I was slow, so I was just so slow, so I was getting difficult to get the pace. But anyway, I could still survive somehow. I almost got passed by the second master behind me.
Alan de Gazes,
yeah. Alan de Gazes, yeah, it was very close. That was a good fun.
Yeah, it looked like you were having a really good battle there with Florian Utz. So it was basically the Masters division versus the S2 leader. And for a little while there, while it was great fun to watch you battle, I was a little worried there that the Gasis was going to get the better of you. Is this something that you was kind of aware of when you was having that fight? Or did you kind of hold back at all? Or was you just more interested in trying to move your way through the field as far as possible?
Oh, as soon as I saw the gas is coming closer, so I was starting to try to defend somehow. And I got lucky because on the last corner, I think Paul Jackson pulled the car to the right. So he cut the line to the guy who was in 5th position, and then also a trouble. Also that the gas is also getting on that kind of stuff, and then it was slowing them down. And I could get a good run.
Oh, definitely a very, very fun, interesting race. But Antonio, it's been, as always, an absolute pleasure. How do you feel about the Spec Racer Fords coming up next?
It's a surprise, so whatever it comes, whatever it goes.
Well, Antonio, we are going to leave you to it for now. We look forward to seeing you in the Spec Racer Ford. Good luck, sir, and we'll hopefully catch up with you again a little bit later.
Thank you very much, ZP. Yeah.
Thank you, Antonio.
Care,
you too.
Bye.
Okay, Tim, who have you managed to catch up with, sir?
Well, I was hoping Florian Utz would pop in so we could complete the set of class victors. We haven't had that, so we've not got second in Spec 2, but we have got the 3rd place driver in Spec 2. Yeah, as you can already hear, where I snuck him across while he was clearly talking to someone else and didn't realise he was going to get dragged in. Adam Thompson started on the front row, finished 16th. A bit of a different experience to race 1.
Yeah, listen here, Tim. The wet ain't the mud. I can tell you that much. I'm from Indiana. I got my southern accent out now, just trying to let you guys know that I don't really know how to race in the rain that well, being from Phoenix and now up here in Reno. But no, it was fun. I don't know how to race these cars in the rain. I don't know how to race these cars, Tim. So to do it in the rain was just impossible. But I didn't finish last.
Say about the dirt. You did find that dirt line into turn 1 by hanging it all around the outside. Did you feel like that was going to be a sign of things to come, or were you a bit like confident? Okay, do you know what? That's happened. I'll bed into this as time goes along and just try and nitpick my way in, or was it a bit more fraught than being in the mid pack with everyone around you and all the battles that were constantly ongoing?
You said a lot of British words there, so I'm going to try to phrase them into American. And I will tell you that I think what you were trying to ask is going into 1, I just locked up. And then moving on further, I found out very quickly that the racing line is not the line you want to take in the rain. So I was driving around the outside of the track, but there were people behind me, clearly, that were passing me, that were running the racing line that could make it happen. So I really couldn't figure it out.
Even so, I mean, still completing your Spec 2 podiums on your debut in the Weekend Warriors. Can you make it 3 from 3 in the SRF shortly?
I was on the podium?
Yeah, you finished third in Spec 2. Florian Utz won. Michelle Lin was second. You were still third in Spec 2, amazingly.
Oh, well, I'll take it. Yeah, we'll try to go 3 for 3. At least these cars that we're about to drive have fenders on them. And Tim, if you've watched XSLR, you know I can use fenders.
Yes, it can do indeed. And to utilise that as a plug, we'll be live in a week's time when we continue on the Rallycross section in XSLR here at Slow Motion Broadcasting. Little plug there, as you do. But yes, congratulations, Adam Thompson there, third in Spec 2.
Hey, Tim, before you let me go here, I know that we're trying to cover some time, so I've got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a serious, like, really bad question, but, you know, when you came out here, right, and we were all kind of hanging out, you were having a good time, did you have a lot of fun when you were out here?
I'm wondering where this is going. Yes, I did.
Now you're back in Britain. It kind of sucks over there, doesn't it?
Where it's still just about the end of the summer, and it was raining most of last week, and I got soaked. My new career, going to play Euro Truck Simulator in real life. Yeah, I was really enjoying it when I was getting absolutely soaked while loading the lorry before I left the yard on pretty much every morning this past week. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all I wanted to say is you just basically said it for me. America is better than Britain. So that's all. You can kick me out now.
Well, you know, you don't have Yorkshire puddings. That's all I'm going to
say. Fair. That's valid.
That's what I'm going to say. That is very valid, isn't it, Daniel? Right, who have we got left? Who do you fancy?
I can't really decide. I do owe Jason Green some thanks, so I feel we should steal him in next.
Yeah, I think, that sounds appropriate.
So, Jason, definitely it's been an interesting evening for you so far, sir. But before we get into that, I do want to thank you as well. During the breaks, we have had your beautiful highlight reel playing. So, first off, I wanted to thank you for that. Expertly done. Very good indeed. But tell us a little bit about how the event's been going for you so far.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I just edited them together. Y'all are the ones that provided the content for that. So, yeah, great job from y'all. Oh my God, the first 3 races have been really intense. I actually had to go through and watch my replay real quick to remember what happened at the beginning of the Formula Ford race. Because it was just, it was that crazy and wild. So, yeah, it's been a lot of not thinking and just avoiding and surviving.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that. It does certainly seems to be survival is the key thing here, especially with such an absolutely enormous, great English there. Don't let Adam get on that. He'll say that I can't speak English or British or let alone any particular language, but enormous grid as well. And it's such a beautiful thing to see from like a community point of view that all of these people came out. And even in the first event, you know, we had 43 cars with more people wanting to get in, which is incredible, you know, for such an event, especially a week 13 event as well. Usually, you know, people take a break and stuff like that. But Jason, tell us a little bit about, you know, what you've done in terms of, you know, helping build this community. I mean, I know the answer to this, but I want to hear like your side of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I do what I can. I took over running Faux Speed, which is a Sunday night practice session for the SRFs, where we practice for the official races. It's at midnight GMT on Sunday or / Monday morning, I guess, if it's 0 GMT. But yeah, I do that. So I'm also an admin for both the SRF and Formula Ford leagues. So I help Stevie out when I can to try to, you know, lessen his workload a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's just small little things. Mainly it's just, you know, being involved with the community, talking to people, and just being present in the community, which isn't difficult because we got so many good people throughout all 3 of the leagues. So as we can see, you know, with this many people showing up, that was crazy having a full grid for the Formula V's for the first race. That was on the dirt oval. Oh my God, that was intense.
It definitely was intense indeed, and I can certainly relate to what you mean. When I used to run the spec racer Fords before I'd even found Weekend Warriors and stuff like that. I mean, you were one of the names that I remember and I recognized. And if I managed to get a pass on you, I got to be honest, I did whoop a little bit there. But certainly a few names I recognize. Certainly David Gaspers as well. Seeing him come in, that is basically iRacing royalty when it comes to the spec board. The man is very, very challenging to beat. And Dan Sadro as well. Now that I understand is who used to do Faux Speed on the Sunday nights. So it's good to see him back as well. But Jason, it's been an absolute pleasure as well, and I'm sure we're going to see you on the racing line. Now that, if I remember rightly, is Tuesday nights, but please correct me on the time. I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yep, that sounds right to me as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. If you want to see a little bit more of Jason, coach extraordinaire, he is on the Ray Esports Racing Line podcast. But we're going to leave you to it for now. That next session should be opening up in about 2 or 3 minutes. Jason, do you want to tell the world where we are going for this next event?
In the SRFs, we are going to Long Beach.
Well,
that has one of the hairpins of all time.
I know exactly which hairpin you're on about, and I'm definitely hoping that we don't see a parking lot of shopping cart spec racer shaped boards there. But Jason, we're going to leave you to it for now. Thank you very much for popping in, and thank you once again for everything you do for the Weekend Warriors as a community, and also for helping out me here at SMB a little bit with these highlight reels as well. Thank you very much, and we wish you best of luck in the final round of the Week 13 runoffs.
Thanks, y'all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jason Green. Now, Tim, who have you been able to catch up with?
Well, I know his biggest supporter is I've seen her in the chat, and I'm sure she'll be happy to hear from him. Jim Brewster joins us now. Jim,
I'm still squeezing water out of my shoes here.
I don't blame you.
I'm still soaking wet.
Literally, to take them off and just pour the water out of there. I mean,
so I threw away my good starting spot if I fallen off the track. In the first rule with rain races is just to stay on the black part, and I failed, but I still had a fun race.
Definitely. Just talk to us. It's always a big grid anyway, but then when you throw in the rain, where you can't. I know iRacing have done things to improve.
That's why I was glad I was up front.
Well, yeah, but then you get stuck in the midfield. You've got, cars left, right, and centre.
On the spray.
As is the standard with Weekend Warriors. But then you've got the spray around you. What's it like in there, mate? What's it like?
If you have 2 or 3 cars in front of you, you can't see. You're just looking. You see a little tiny dip of the brake, the rain light, and maybe their tires, but you can't see your braking markers or anything like it. Going to turn 1, you're totally blind. You're sort of guessing and feeling when the time is to brake. And the whole trick is just to use the gearbox and don't use your brakes a whole lot. But then once you find the fast line, like turn 3, that outside line, you could fly around it, and there's little sneaky. It's like you're searching for the mystery to the puzzle, and then each corner you find it. Like turn 6, the same thing. About mid-track towards the outside was pretty fast. Turn 8 and 9 were just treacherous. You couldn't dare hit the outside of turn 10. People were spinning. That's where I spun off once. But anyway, a lot of fun.
Definitely, and a real contrast to race 1, and race 3 going to be even another contrast again.
Well,
I mean,
no, I think 3 is just going to look like a regular surf race. Our surf racers are so stupid fast, and they know Long Beach, and it's so nice to have the old timers like Mr. Gaspers, the legendary. So it'd be really fun to see him go up against the current breed. This is basically Dudu versus Gaspers, generations. This is going to be a great battle, and I'm not going to be part of it. I'm going to be stinking out the back, but up front you're going to see a real show up front because you got all these experienced boys.
Yeah, Brandon Roseborough will be starting from a higher place. Fortello, Sadra. I mean.
Is Castro starting up front?
Castro,
where did he finish?
He finished 12th, so he'll be in and about there as well in the mix too.
That means David will get a runaway, and maybe Jason can catch up. Jason was top 5 or so, right? So
well, yeah, but they've got Brandon Roseborough in there as well. Tullo too. There's Tullo's 8th. Brandon's going to start 10th. I mean,
it's going to be good.
It will be.
Yep.
It will be. Well, good luck.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Will do indeed. Jim Brewster there. And, well, that is us done for race 2. But stay tuned as we head to a quick break now. For race 3 this evening, as you heard, we head to Long Beach. And, wow, from the steaming down rain here in race 2 from Summit Point Raceway. It's an absolute scorcher at Long Beach. It's going to be interesting. Stay tuned. We'll see you shortly.
We have in the YouTube chat Drew saying Wilkie can win S2 if he places 5th or better, so we have to keep an eye on Josh Wilkie.
3, but Montgomery gets the move done, running off into the dirt as well.
Let's have a look. There's no white flags. We're going another lap here, Ron. How many of these drivers out here have calculated and allowed for that? I'm not sure. We're about to find out who's got enough fuel on board.
That is going to throw a huge wrench in the works in this fight as Rodriguez trying to get the move done on Montgomery to slip his way back up into the podium positions. Well done from Andrew Love as well to catch up that 1 second gap, but side by side yet again. Heading into turn number 3, Jesus Rodriguez going to lose out on that battle with himself and Montgomery, and going to lose out on another spot with Love now going side by side with him. Love actually trying to get the 2-for-1 deal, and you can see Rodriguez going for an aggressive move back. Otherwise, he may get shuffled out of that P3 spot. Here comes Montgomery and Rodriguez. Is any of these drivers going to try and get a move done? Yes, you can see maybe trying to make it 3 wide. No, not yet. Rodriguez trying to get that move done on Love, and Montgomery looking to shuffle him back as well. Montgomery not able to clear Love heading into turn number 5. They're going to be side by side through 6. One of these drivers is going to have to back out, but neither of them do. Love running all the way out to the gravel on corner exit. These in third. Actually, no, I see that. Love maybe trying to sneak a wheel down the outside, heading through turn at number 8 and making contact as well. We got a beautiful view inside of Love's cockpit heading through turn number 8. It looks like that is going to stay line astern, but meanwhile at the north end of the field, Thor Tulo in a dominating performance here from the Formula V Weekend Warrior Championship is going to end up winning it, but the fight between Rodriguez and Love, those two were nearly banging wheels coming to the line. It's going to be a photo finish between the two of them. Barely any air. Right now, DeGastis and P6 is the last of this train, and I'll tell you what, I got the wonderful opportunity to drive alongside some of these drivers in a practice session last night, and let me tell you, the slipstream is absolutely vital in these races, and we're seeing it put on full display right now. Over Street, Tulo and Ladar going 3 wide, heading into turn number 1 with Brewster and Rodriguez feeling quite racy as well. One of these drivers is going to have to back out, and it's going to be Tulo backing out. That Megan Overstreet pulling ahead. Hasn't really caught out Tulo and Rodriguez thus far, but they're going to be side by side with Tulo running that outside line heading into the final corner, trying to sweep around the outside. This is a bold move from Thor Tulo, and it looks like he's going to make it stick. Beautiful move from Thor Tulo as Megan Overstreet is going to win it. Thor Tulo is going to steal our hearts with a beautiful move.
Michelle Lynn has gotten the move done. It looks like they are side by side through the corkscrew right now between Michelle Lynn, Guido Marzucci. Guido able to hold on, but Michelle still on the inside now, going through turn 9, about to go through turn 10, still side by side into 10. Are they going to keep this up? Michelle trying to go the over-under, has to fall back in line. Some staunch defense by Guido Marzucci.
Up at the front, it is pandemonium. You can see Thor Tulo and DeGuess is still running in P2. Zerba is trying to get the move done on Jesus Rodriguez and gets it done successfully. So I'm curious if these drivers are starting to get a bit more impatient. We also have some lap traffic a little bit farther up the road. That could play a huge role in this fight
dangerous
as well.
move.
As Zerbez gets the move done into 6. Well done, Matt Zerbez.
I know that can happen, but that doesn't matter right now. It doesn't look like Tulo's underfueled his car because he's going for a move into the corkscrew, and it looked like Rodriguez was trying to get a little fancy on that one as well. And there's a spin.
Oh, contact. This is a heads-up fight between these two. The next farthest car up the road is Ladar. However, I don't think, as Ladar is going through the corkscrew right now, I don't think he's going to play a role in this finish with about 5 minutes left to go on the clock. Barely any time left in this race as Tulo sticking it around the outside, heading through the corkscrew. Is it going to stick this time, or is Zerbez going to hold on to the lead? Tulo, he's going to be able to clear him coming out of the corkscrew. The move when he did, I was expecting him to kind of hold off for the final 2 laps of the race, then really go for it. But we're coming to that soon, you know, looking at the time we have left in this race, coming up to about 3.5 minutes. These drivers feeling more pressure as Zerbez looking to put the move on Tulo that Tulo put on him. Around the outside, that's going to end in tears as Zerbez goes for a spin. They are going to be close heading down this back straightaway for the final time. About to head into the turn 11 and 12 chicane for the final time, covered by less than a quarter of a second right now. Jacobson, he needs a good run hang through turn 12. He needs a good run hang through turn 13. You can see Marzuki pushing it. Jacobson's pushing it too. That gap is not growing over 3.5 tenths of a second. They are going to be close coming out of turn 13 for the final time. Jacobson needs a good exit. They both need a good exit. They both dip a wheel into the dirt. Coming out of the corner, Jacobson, he is closing. He ain't lifting. He's going to try and get the move done on Marzuki. Marzuki going for the block, nearly putting him into the grass. It's going to be side by side coming right to the line. Marzuki and Jacobson, a photo finish. It's going to be Jeff Jacobson winning it by 4 thousandths of a second over Guido Marzuki, and right behind Alan DeGassis wins in another photo finish between himself and Michelle Lynn. 9 thousandths of a second separating those two coming to the line.
Here we go, Randall. Last lap, all gloves are off. Monty to the outside, Soto to the inside. They're going to go 3 wide. We've got 2 cars behind them even, just licking their chops, hoping this happens. Soto gets by at least Pleva, but Monty still on the outside. And now it looks like Green is going to take an outside line. 3 wide, going into 1.
Oh, this could get hairy quick, and there's contact. All 3 make contact, and Green is going to come out the best for it possibly. No, they all managed some argy-bargy through turn 2.
We don't want to go anywhere else other than this lead pack right now, and Pleva has one more chance. Monty in the lead through Ascari. Monty to the left. Now he's swerving back right. A bit of Lando Norris vibes here a few years ago. This is going to get really interesting. Where is Pleva going to go? Is he going to go anywhere? Is Soto going to push him? Who's going to push who? Looks like Pleva to the outside. Monty to the inside. Soto gets a little bit in, a little bit deep. It looks like Pleva just around the outside. He might have this, Randall.
Oh, he does. He covers him off. He manages to get the run on the outside done. He's going to win the drag race to the line. Pleva is going to steal it from Monty in the last corner. We still got a couple spots to shake out here. The drag race, Monty just barely comes up short.
Is sitting right in front of Jorg Monty. Jorg Monty now lost 6 positions. Yes, West Tech Esports. Patience is starting to disappear. The patience was never there. It is gone, and it has not started from the beginning of this race.
I think patience is a 4-letter word in this race right now. We see the entire lead pack jockeying for position going into turn 1 every single lap. Jorg Manny and Josh Soto had a bit of a gap in front of them, and now they're right back in the thick of it because of all this fighting. Rodriguez going to go to the inside of Green into the international horseshoe, maybe get this move done. Green looks like he has a decent run on the outside, but not enough. Rodriguez to the lead. They're going to be coming, I think, to the white flag this time.
This may be white flag right now. I think it is.
And we see a lot of this gamesmanship going on in these races, and it almost always ends not the way that you think it would, and often in tears. So right now, Green going to be in second, going into the infield section with Fritcher in third. Soto making a move for fourth, fighting with Pleva.
And here we go, Randall. I'm going to leave it up to you.
I think we're going to see a little bit of gamesmanship coming onto the oval once again. This could be anybody's race. We see it all the time, especially in slower cars. This last lap is always a crapshoot of who's going to be there at the end. Green got the inside run and now is lifting a little bit, possibly. No, he's going to have the move done. Castro running high. I think Castro's playing a little bit of games here, letting a couple gyros get in front of him so that he has the run to the finish line. Soto with a head of steam on the outside, going to be blocked off by Castro, going to make the inside move. They're going to go 3 wide towards the Le Mans chicane. Soto got all kinds of pace, but no space to go. A little contact there. He had to back out. Fritcher had to dive to the inside, going to defend against Castro. They're going to go 2 wide through the chicane, and a little bit of contact that slows down Castro and Fritcher, and that's going to give Green this huge opportunity to win and run away for this victory. Pleva going to make the inside move into third, but is he going to...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 3rd round, as it looks like they are just getting that practice underway. The practice underway now, and we are here at Long Beach, ladies and gentlemen, and it is toasty, 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
41 in Celsius for you there, Daniel. Well, they're already gridding up. Should we make our way through the grid? Gasper's on pole with Tufts on the front row. Oh, it's not quite working out exactly, is it? I think it's just taking on... Where's this going to be? I'm waiting to see... Actually, it probably is about right, because I know Adam Thompson hasn't taken to the grid yet. So, that probably is going to be about right then. Yeah, Thompson and McConnell, row 2, row 3. Race and Green. Sadro and Brewster on row 4 or row 5 in the top 10. It's the Tullo row. 4 and Nick. Stephen Haley and Arthur Lorio on row 6. Row 7. That is, Florian Utz, of course, Spec 2 winner in the rain, the Formula 4s we saw earlier on. Next to Duty Castro, Gary Warbot and Stevie Ray on row 8. Row 9, Jeff Jakeson and Josh Justice. Kevin Adrian has Tom Gradwell for company on row 10 and completing the top 20. Well, row 11 is Jason Grinder and Andrew Love. Brad Cathcart and Kurt Nunes are on row 12. Row 13, unlucky for some, let's hope not, for Russell Telka and Brian Stasinski. Dave Ogburn and Trenton Kramer are on row 14. Row 15, Bobby West and Paul Stevens, an all-British row there. Brendan Roseborough next to Paul Jackson on row 16. 17 is Wood and Wilkie. Lilio and Marnie make up on row 18. Row 19 is Bradshaw and Lin. Watch out for Yang Shi Lin. He'll make up places. Flavio Andalo and Andrea Favini on row 20. And Sergio Girelli completing the 41-car grid. He'll be number 1 to watch out for. That is for certain. Oh, Daniel, it's a hot one. And it's Long Beach. Let the memes begin, I believe.
Well, it's definitely going to be a very fun race. I'm actually a little jealous. I would absolutely love to be in this race. Certainly my cup of tea. The Spec Racer Ford, tight sectors, and certainly that hairpin, as Jason was saying, as they're going around there now, I can see there being a lot of very, very interesting scenarios happen there. But they're going to get ready to go down the start front straight. Gaspers to take the lead.
Time safety car in. Let's get ready to go racing. Final time this evening. SRS for Long Beach at Green, and we're away. And Gaspers instantly shuts down Tufts there on the run across the line, closing him down, and then moves across to the inside. He's thrown those defensive shapes, but Tufts pulls the driver's right, looking for the switchback here into 1, and he pulls alongside in towards the fountain, but can't get enough momentum to get alongside. Gaspers leads, and that's why he is a 5-times champion in the SRF Weekend Warriors, showcasing all of that. There's a big incident further back, though, as Wilkie, Warbolk, Grider, Gradwell, Love, Telka, Nunes, all caught up in an incident. I'm going to guess that's either turn 1 or the fountain. But down they head into turn 4 now. Well, as we see the replay, this is what happened. Look good on the run to the line here, Daniel, but get the feeling it's all about to kick off into turn 1. 3 wide. Well, that's brave and ambitious there. Stevie Ray locking up on the inside, and he might have been the catalyst. No, he wasn't. A bit slow off there. Maybe it was into the fountain. Oh, yeah. Oh, 3 wide into the fountain. Well, that was never going to work. The car scattered off on the outside there. Just caught a few noses of cars left discarded on the inside.
Yeah, my event screen is lit up with red of crashes right now. I'm not even sure where to start. We're going to try another one. We've got Trenton Kramer and see exactly what happened with him. You can see him there in the number 20 car, the United States driver, who does have a race car rental service, which is definitely pretty cool. And you can see there, that's looking pretty clean, pretty good. Is it going to be as they go there into the fountain? As you can see there, oh, they all get backed up. Oh dear, and that, I'm going to say, is what is triggering this huge line of crash events. But thankfully, for the most part, a lot of these guys are able to keep running.
So we head back to live action. Gaspers leading this one. Tufts in second. Race up into third. He's up 2 places. Tullo is there in 5th. And wow, there's a bit of a gap between a few of the cars, but nothing too much. Gaspers, Tufts, race all line astern, breaking away. They've got 2.5 seconds the advantage over Michael McConnell, who's the next springing up in the next line. Tullo trying to find a way past early on. Sadro there too. Jason Green Brewster said he was felt like he was going to fall down through the order and just try and hold on. Well, he's holding on to 8th place. He hasn't gained any positions, but he hasn't lost any. That's what's crucial. On board with Jason Green. That's Dan Sadro just in front of us. While Fortullo slings it up the inside there on McConnell. Skating across the curves. Brave, ambitious in these hot conditions not to lose the rear. All the weight is in the rear of these cars because rear-engined. Similar to a Porsche 911, but that's where a lot of the similarities end. As there is Tullo in 4th.
Oh dear.
Thompson did not make the start, so he's had to start from the pits, and he is well down.
I'm seeing all sorts of crash warnings ahead, and oh, that's Stephen Healy. That's what happened with him. See him having a little bit of a smack against the wall, but I saw something even bigger going on. I'm going to see if I can find it in here. See if it was Joshua Justice now. No, that's Stephen Healy on the left. He's round there. I do wonder if it is a little bit later on. I've seen what looked like a big puff of smoke emerging as they head round the chicane. We're going to see if we can find that instant. Oh yeah, Justice goes round. There's the puff of smoke. Not a lot he can do. Sit and duck at that point. And all very carefully trying to get that car up and out of the way. You see Joshua Wilkie going by as well. All sorts of chaos here at Long Beach.
Well, I found the gap in the wall in impressive style, did Justice, but came close. Bit of squeaky bum time for a few of the other drivers. Got away with it. Got away with it. Sadro now, they're still behind McConnell. Tullo not really able to make too much of an impression on everyone ahead of him. Where has Tufts gone? Where has Tufts gone? That's a big question, because he was up into 3rd. Into the fountain. That's him in 2nd. Gasper's just in front. Race just behind. Oh, sideways and around, and that's not the place you don't want to be. Right on the exit of the corner on the racing line. And he gets away with that one. No contact with the wall or the tyre barrier. But he's down to 7th.
He may have indeed dropped a little bit further back. I have another crash warning for Daniel Tufts. Let's see what happened. Them tyres will be super warm after having that little bit of a moment there. And this is heading into the final corner. We're going to see what went on. You can see there, he's there on the outside. Are we going to get an over rotation? No, not yet. I'm not quite sure why we've got a crash warning at this point, but we're going to see.
He bumped into the back of Jason Green on entry into the final corner. I think that's what might have caused it. I had a bit of a smack, and it looked incredibly close for comfort. So I believe that's what's going to cause it, unless something happens into 1. No, is the answer to that one. So we are Gaspers from Race from Tullo. That is your top 3. Race leading Masters, 2nd overall. Great for him at the moment. Florian Utz still holding on to that. Well, he was, as David Ogburn getting past as they're all shuffling around. I think Utz has had a bit of an issue. He's dropping place after place after place. But who is your highest climb? Oh, here we go. We're going to find out exactly what happened to him. Stevie Ray just on drivers right there, looking to come alongside, backs out of it. That's another cheeky look there. And I think that just sells him. Oh! Sitting duck on the outside of the corner there. Wow, jumps to the pits. I think that's the wise move.
Definitely a wise move there from Florian. You know, don't get me wrong, it doesn't always go right. But let's have a look. It looks like Tom Gradwell is under attack currently from Brandon Roseborough right alongside him as well. This is the battle going on for 16th place right now. And we have a Master versus a S1 as it stands right now. And it looks like Brandon has been able to get that move done as they head down into turn 1.
Bit of damage on the rear there of Roseborough's car. Won't affecting too much around here. It's only really that long run out of the hairpin, the final corner up towards turn 1 that you need to worry truly about straight line speed. Maybe a bit down Seaside Way as well, but definitely not affecting the young American, certainly at the moment. But as he comes up against faster drivers, he might struggle there a bit as what's happened to Jason Green. Let's take a little look at this one. Into turn 1. Does he outbrake himself? Yes, he does. carries on and drops a couple of places, well, 3 places, in fact. That's McConnell heading on by. And even the 10 there, Kevin Adrian, just, oh, the Mexican slips it in. Beautiful stuff into the fountain. High risk move, but gets it done. And that's him up into 7th. He's up 12 places, incredibly now. But your highest climber, Josh Wilkie, he's up 20. Actually, so did Girelli and Andrea Favini up 20 as well. 3 drivers tying for the Andreas Petoni Award.
You see right now we have a absolute whole pack of cars on the move. There is battles going on everywhere. It's a job actually to go and catch them. It looks like Jeff Jacobson, he's having one with Jim Brewster as well. You see there, Jacobson is currently behind, I say that, behind Jim Brewster. Well, Bobby West getting in there as well.
So sort of discarded off by the outside there, not too surprising. There's Roseborough right on the tail of Joshua Wilkie, the Canadian, running 13th for the moment. He's up 21. So is Fafini. Highest climbers on board with Roseborough at the moment. Locked in, locks on to the back of that 777. Getting up the inside there. A bit of a look into down Seaside Way. Oh, and just a bit slidey on corner exit. That's the hot track temperatures kicking in. David Ogben now leading Spec 2. Well, Wilkie lives to fight another day in that 13th place. Unlucky for some, not looking for him at the moment. So he fends off Roseborough. What's going to happen on this run up to turn 1? That's the interesting point. There is Thompson in the 20. Having missed the start, has made great progress since they had to start from the pits. He's up into 20th. So a real great recovery drive from him in the 11. He's going to be happy with that one. That is for certain. Does have, well, some big old names behind him. Flavio Andala, Kurt Nunes, Sergio Girelli, and Adam Bradshaw to mention. There's turning a race into the pits as well. Just heading back out. Bit of an odd one because he was looking like, well, good for Masters victory. Jim Brewster now leads that one. And potentially a place on the podium overall for race. But it's not going to happen as the 981 has a big old moment there. That's Nick Tullow.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Roseborough stuck in the sandwich there trying to make his way through.
See exactly what happened to Nick Tullow here. We've seen the ejecting clamshell of that Spec Racer Ford. You can see he's going here into this final corner on the outside line. And I think that's Daniel Tufts ahead of him in the 34, if I'm not mistaken. You can see there he's absolutely going down. He still has the clamshell as it stands right now. So not entirely sure when he loses that bodywork at this point.
So one of the further corners.
Well, we're going to leave that be for the minute. As you see the standings having a little bit of a reset. And that looked like Joshua Wilkie just dived into the pits as well. So certainly, you know, some interesting tactics going on. I didn't think these guys would have to pit, but maybe, you know, maybe that is actually going to be one of the factors here.
Yeah, it's normally they can just about make it, but I mean, track temperatures going to play a part. I mean, it's going to be close. There will be drivers who can serve their way around this one. There are other drivers who might need a splash and dash to get themselves home. It will be close as Wood, well, ambitious with the curbs there, all over the rear end of Brewster. Moves to driver's left of Brewster, who holds it around the outside there. Almost touch between the pair of them. Then they've got Love, who says, I want a piece of this action. I want to get involved here. Sat right behind them, having a bit of a look. But not for now. Not for now.
Well, he's definitely in a front row seat to make a move here, but he's got to decide when he wants to go for it. You see there, Daniel Wood being able to sneak by Jim Brewster. Jim Brewster definitely not a slouch. It looks like there's a little bit of damage on the left front corner of Andrew Love's car as well, so he's definitely going to want to try and keep that thing as clean as he possibly can. Certainly this last chicane, definitely a lot of cross action there with the hands trying to get it round that huge, intensively tight corner, but definitely a interesting battle happening just below the top 10.
It is definitely a interesting battle. As usual, standard Weekend Warriors stuff. So many people involved here. But Love right behind Brewster Wood, now ahead of them. Sergio Drilli just moving up another place ahead of Cathcart. There's Thompson and Grider have had a bit of a coming together. That could pay issues with Thompson's aspirations to walk away with the Spec 2 title here. Be a definitive moment. That one is Brewster. Well, has a look at the inside there, but Favini. Favini's behind, isn't he, in the 27? Is Love in front of him? Love currently running second in Spec 2. David Ogben still leading that one. Brewster, well, after Antonio Race had to head to the pits, leading Masters. Just needs to hold this one together. Cathcart second in class. Nunes third. And fourth is Bradshaw. They are 18th, 19th, and 20th, respectively. So Brewster just needs to keep this one on the track. But, well, it's going to be fraught. He's got Love in front of him. Favini and Stevens incredibly close behind. It could go absolutely anyway. But he might be better off still just letting them on by. And, well, I don't know. Does he let them on by and let them scrap away and keeps out of that one? Or, if they're in front of him and they have an incident, it's a street circuit, there's nowhere to go. It could actually, it might be better staying in front of them, or trying to at least.
It's definitely a difficult call to make myself. You know, I don't want to make sure that I have a car to draft around nearby. You know, the draft is so crucial in these Spec Racer Fords. But again, you know, risk versus reward, as Brewster currently under pressure there from Favini. Don't get me wrong, Favini, he's not looking to fight Brewster that much. You know, they are in S1 and, you know, Masters, you know, different classes, but the points are scored overall on the race scenario. So, you know, Brewster's had a couple of good results today. How hard is he going to want to fight?
Yeah, it's all part of the Venn danger diagram, isn't it, really, for Brewster right now? What does he do? Does he let him on by? The risk of, you know, someone running the back of him or getting into contact with someone else that puts pace to his race, but equally, if he lets Favini by, well, Favini's going to make his own way by there. Brewster not really putting up too much of a fight. Yeah, Favini and Brewster get into one another, then that could cost them dearly. To say, you know, if they have an incident in front of him. Tuff's just setting fastest lap of the race in front of them. As they're already, well, just over half race distance. Where has that got on? As Adrian's made his way past McConnell further up. There is Jason Green. There is Adrian. Amazingly getting done in the slipstream, despite a very damaged front right corner there, Daniel.
Yeah, it's definitely fair to say that his Spec Racer Ford is cosmetically damaged at this point. Well, cosmetically challenged at this point, my apologies. And that will definitely affect his straight line speed going down the road. Actually, let's take a quick look to see if he has any alignment issues as well. So as he's going down a straight, we'll see if that steering wheel is indeed straight. The fenders on these cars, not the biggest of all cars, and we'll see. It looks like he's all right. As I look down, he's going, yeah, I'd say he's managed to keep his alignment in spec, so that's definitely some good news. Not going to be dragging the wheel sideways as he goes down the track.
Yeah, I concur with you there, Daniel. I fully concur. Andrea Favini now up 28. It's basically you've either lost loads of places or you've gained loads. Retirement so far, Roseborough, Healy, Castro, Latoro, and Talca, who did not make the start. Amazingly, your only retirements, which for a circuit with incredibly high track temperatures, is pretty darn good going on a 41-car grid. Take that every day of the week. Well, technically 40, because Talca did not make the start. But now Favini is the cork in a bottle. I love No, David Ogburn too far ahead. I mean, he's some 12 seconds up the road. That means he's going to have to gain on him by a second per minute. But as the late, great Murray Walker said, shooting people is one thing, but passing them is something completely different altogether.
Well, you can see there Jason Grider getting out of the way there in that Yamaha liveried car. Very keen to let these guys keep on going, as we do have a rather large pack of cars, starting with, well, I guess Andrea Favina, he's leading that right now. That pack spread out a little bit, but going back as far as potentially 15th, even 16th place.
It's another day in the weekend warriors. I think Favini had a bit of a scrape of the wall there. I'm not too sure. There's a bit of a puff of smoke coming out the left side of the car. Well, there's any damage, so either netcode give it to him, or just maybe a bit of a lock, a bit of a slide there, or something to induce that. He gets away with it to live to fight another day. Jim Brewster still stuck in this battle with Andalo and Stevens, though, isn't he? Still stuck with them, and they're still. I mean, they're like the wolf, Big Bad Wolf, when they got to the little pig's house made of bricks, aren't they? They're huffing and they're puffing, and they're trying to blow Jim Brewster's house down, but he's not having any of it right now.
Jim Brewster is definitely not somebody who's going to be intimidated by having a car behind him. He is way too experienced for that, as it looks like Andalo is going to try and make that move up on the inside. Not yet able to get it done, and that's potentially opened the door there for Paul Stevens. He was able to close that gap a little bit as they head around the final turn, and Stevens is going to get an absolutely fantastic draft down as they're going down the start-finish straight, and you see there, he's pulled out to take the inside of what is going to be, I guess, turn 1, turn 2, depends on how you interpret it, and is side by side. Nope, he's backed out of it, and Darlow being given the corner, as we see there. Oh dear.
Wood. That was Daniel Wood there, off at turn 1. Daniel.
It
looks like, I'm going to guess, as he's all by himself, he's going to carry straight on and overcook it into turn 1 here. And I mean, those tyre barriers really do sort of jut out a bit. You've seen him, oh yeah, there you go. Locked up, missed his turn in entry point, maybe a little bit late on the brakes as well. And as streams on by, that long line that we've been watching for quite a while now. That intriguing battle all over 12th place.
Definitely not exactly what he wanted to do there, and it's cost him quite dearly. He's dropped back about 5 positions at this point, but Andalo, Stevens, and Brewster, these guys still going at it, and it looks like Brewster has caught up to the back of Andrew Love again. Nope, my apologies, reading the timing wrong. Brewster currently under attack from Andalo. There is a 4-car fight going around. Brewster, Andalo, Stevens, and Dorelli all trying to get that number 12 spot.
Yeah, I think Trent and Kramer as well up onto the back of them. No, it's not. Apologies. It is only the 3 cars that Jim Brewster has to try and fend off at the moment, as you say. Andalo and Stevens, who are both themselves locked in on that battle for that last place on the podium in Spec 2. So we head into this last third of the race. 9 minutes and a bit of change left on the clock. Onto the brakes we come. And well, Brewster will be praying right now that Andalo and Stevens start battling over that 3rd place in Spec 2 and just leave it to it so he can scamper on off up the road. But he's only got Sergio Girelli in there as well to play that factor. What's he got on his sleeve? He's a man on the move. He's at 26 places. So is Andalo, in fact, but they're both eclipsed by Andrea Favini's at 30, who got past Jim Brewster earlier on, along with Andrew Love. What can Brewster... Oh, big moment into the wall, and that's going to facilitate the move for Andalo. Surely Stevens as well. Really might even sneak his way past as well. Brewster's got the inside line covered down the end of Seaside Way, and well, Dorelli can't make it past, but Stevens and Andalo both do.
It did look like Dorelli was actually giving Stevens a little bit of a shunt there, trying to help him get past Brewster. Brewster obviously being a little bit of a cork in the bottle for these guys, but certainly, you know, he's in a different fight. Despite the fact that he's just lost a couple of positions, Brewster is still leading the Masters Series right now for this Week 13 event, and it looks like Antonio Reese is while a little bit closer than he once was, he's still a good couple of seconds back. And with about 8 minutes left in this event to go, can he hold on for that Masters victory? Ooh,
I think he should be safe. I was about to say he should be safe for it. I mean, Antonio Race is well behind, but now that gap just evaporating. Trenton Kramer behind. He's in 16th. Antonio Race is in 17th, but he's 3.6 seconds down the road. And with these mistakes creeping in, like you can just see him in the background there, Antonio Race in the 9:14. These mistakes that are creeping in from Brewster. And you have to wonder how much damage it's then inflicting, even more so, onto that 9:33. Is it going to mean that Antonio Race just eats away at that gap, lap after lap? 7 minutes remaining in this race. 1.7 seconds the gap. Well, he's taking temps out of him like it's no tomorrow right now, is Antonio Race.
I think that last mistake...
Seems like it's going to be fine.
Oh, sorry, Tim. I think that last mistake may have been what's cost Brewster this Masters win. As you see there, Antonio Reis already reeled in about 2 seconds just in this lap alone. Brewster is currently a sitting duck. That car heavily damaged. The bathtub is indeed got some holes in it as Brewster, yep, he's peeling off into the pits for repair. Antonio Reis, your new Masters leader.
It is, and well, he's lost second place to Kafka. He might even lose third place to Nunes. Yes, he has. Brewster, from looking comfortable for that victory, could come out even in sixth place behind Jorg Marni potentially here. So all goes wrong for Jim. Gutting. Absolutely gutting for him. Sergio Girelli, he's been, I tell you what, he's picking up places as Sergio always as the Argentine driver. But up in 28 now, into 13th overall. Still eclipsed by Andrea Fabini. He's at 30. David Gaspers, look at this. You can see why this guy is a 5 times champion. Nearly 10 seconds clear of Fortolo. And, I mean, that guy is no slouch whatsoever. So that shows you the pedigree of that guy. As there is Tom Gradwell with Alfa Lorio. Just behind him.
That's definitely one of the closest battles we got happening on the track right now, and it is a very big field of cars. We have 41 cars registered in this race, and it looks like Adam Thompson may have retired as well. He's currently sat in the pit, so that does definitely end his chances of having a free race S2 podium, but making his debut really here in the Weekend Warriors. He's usually stuck in the booth here with me, but it looks like Jason Green and Bobby West, they're going at it as well. These are some regulars. My apologies, it's Bobby West and Kevin Adrian who are getting into it right now, fighting for 5th and 6th place respectively.
I've been keeping half an eye on this battle, Daniel, and they've been swapping around places these last few laps. He's just exchanging blow for blow. West being in front, Adrian being in front. It's been back and forth between the pair of them. I mean, this, as usual, plenty of battles afoot. We've got this one. We have got Stevens and Kramer involved in one. And then we've got Jacobson, Lynn, and Cathcart. And I think actually Wood involved in that one too. So plenty of battles still to keep ourselves entertained with in these last 4 minutes of the final race of this evening. Well, look at this. This is one of the 4-car battle I mentioned. Lynn going for it here, right round the outside of the injured, wounded Daniel Wood. And a lovely move right round the outside from Yangshi Lin, who of course won the SCCA runoffs on iRacing. Clean sweep, won every single race. Oh well, if he hadn't started from right down near the back of the grid, he would have been up there fighting tooth and nail with Gaspers. I don't think Gaspers would be leading by quite a comfortable margin, all things considered. But that's up 21 places now for Lynn, having started 38th. They're pretty much at the back of the grid.
Well, Lynn, I can say, is definitely a talented driver. I've had the pleasure, I'd say, of racing him before, but I didn't really. Racing would be an insult to Lynn. You know, he absolutely just breezed by me, and it's fair to say that that win is definitely very well earned, as it's not common something we see here, but we currently have a race happening between two Spec Racer Fords, both missing that front clamshell, Daniel Wood and Brad Cathcart.
That seems to be a bit of a trend at the moment, doesn't it? There's quite a few cars running around out there without a front end. I mean, especially one of the advantages, you can see exactly where the front wheels are and try and hit all those apexes much easier.
Oh!
You saved it, Brad. You saved it.
Well, definitely that front nose cone missing could indeed affect the aero of this car, and definitely a little bit more over rotation than he was expecting, as it looks like there is a battle happening still with Bobby West and Kevin Adrian. These guys are still going at it, and one of the closest battles we have on track right now.
It is, isn't it? As here comes the Mexican, eyeing up the Brit. Moves left, moves right, just trying to fill West's mirrors, trying to preoccupy him with what's happening behind him. So then he tries to miss his braking markers, he misses his turning point, just everything and anything. Goes slightly down on top speed is Adrian. And that damage to the front, already scuffed up front right. But it's not stopping him taking the fight to West here, all over 5th place. West has got the momentum behind him. He's up 24 places, having started in 29th, and just pulls a couple of tenths there over Adrian. That's going to help him when it comes to heading down Seaside Way.
No, they do have to think about that lap car ahead of him of Paul Jackson as well. The sportsmanship here in the Weekend Warriors is absolutely fantastic though, and Bobby West doing everything he can to catch the draft from that number 249 car, try and pull himself forward, and you can see there he's closed that gap. You see, oh, Adrian running a little bit wide there. I thought he was going to go in the wall. Jackson hammers on the brakes, and that's kind of split them up a little bit there. Adrian trying to get by as quickly as possible. Thankfully, this battle's still on as they head down the start-finish straight. And actually, we should be seeing a white flag very, very shortly, if we haven't already.
I was trying to have my eyes peeled there. Yeah, Gaspers. He's just heading through the fountain at the moment. So that will be white flag in the air. Be 1 to go as he commands this 11.5 second lead over Fortello. Needs to bring this one home. Doesn't need anything drastic. No heroics required here to secure, wow, what will be a hat-trick of wins in Spec 1. Of course, Adam Thompson winning in the Formula Vs on the dirt at USA International in race 1. So it's not quite a full sweep of overall race victories, but it'll take it either which way. He heads down underneath the Firestone Bridge for the final time this evening. Down to the third to last corner. Bit of traffic in front of him. That's Gary Walbold, who might let him by just so he doesn't have to do one last lap. But I want to go once more. You never quite know in this series. Always places are made up. As Gasper exits the final corner. He is your winner and he is your champion here in the 42nd running of the Ray Esports Runoffs. Congratulations, David Gaspers. Victory number 2 of this evening overall, and 3 victories in Spec 1. But West and Adrian have closed right in these latter stages onto the back of green. It's going to be close across the line. Not too close in the end. Next interesting one's going to be Dan Wood. He's stuck in a battle further on down. He's going to be the next one across the line. There he is. Jeff Jakeson, about 3 attempts in front, but time running out. Of course, Wood been missing that front clamshell, as you said earlier on, Daniel, for quite a bit of that race, and I don't think he's going to make his way past Jakeson. Got his own wounded car, that front right, looking very, very bent up, but that runs to the line. That's looking good. Brad Cathcart's the next one that's looking interesting. He's about, well, it's getting incredibly close now. We switch to him. There he is on the run to the line. Kurt Nunes is going to snag it, though, surely. Side by side, who gets it? It's Kurt Nunes by 100th of a second. Marnie by a lackluster 8 tenths behind the pair of them. Classic Weekend Warriors finish, as always.
Well, definitely a very, very close race indeed, and not without its set of challenges. We see Jim Brewster, he's there heading across the line. He was in the lead, and sadly that dropped him off a little bit earlier, having that incident. So it looks like Antonio Reese was able to get that Masters win. Nunez the second, Cathcart in third. But we're going to have a quick look at the results in just a second. I believe they've come through. Let's take a quick peek here, Tim.
Yeah, congratulations to David Ogburn as well. Spec 2 Victor, we'll come to that very shortly. Gaspers, your winner here in Long Beach, Fortello second. Sadro completing that podium. Green, West, Adrian McConnell takes you up to 7th. We've got 8th place and winner in Spec 2, David Ogburn. Daniel Tufts in 9th with Vini completing the top 10. Andalo, second place in Spec 2 and 11th. Antonio Race, 12th overall. Your winner in Masters, with Stevens completing that Spec 2 podium in 13th. Jackson Wood, Dorelli, a great drive from Dorelli. He was up 25, although Andalo was at 28 and Favini was up 30 to take the coveted Andres Petoni Award. If you know, you know. Kurt Nunez, second and 18th overall in Masters. 19th, Brad Cathcart, great start to his Monday morning to get on the podium in Masters and finish 19th overall. Yogmani rounds out your top 20. Then it was in 21st, Josh Wilkie, Brewster, Walbolt, Gradwell, Lorio, Justice, Jackson, Utz, and Kramer. Gradwell, one lap. The first driver was 1 lap down. Kramer in 30th. The first driver was 2 laps down. It was Grider. Lynn, who must have had an incident late on because he was running a bit higher up, wasn't he? Brian Stasinski was 3 laps down as well. Nick Tullo into the retirements now. We lost him. When do we lose him? On lap 15. Lap 13 for Thompson. Ray on lap 10. Roseborough on lap 6. So was Healy. Castro on lap 5. Latorlo on lap 2 with Russell Telka rounding out the field. Did not make the start. Let's have a chat to some of our drivers. And first up, 3 Spec 1 victories, although only 2 overall, but still, take it either way. David Gaspers, what a win as well. Well over 11 seconds at the checkered flag. You could not be much happier with how things have gone this evening, surely.
Yeah, of course I'm happy. I think with his track choice, it was mostly about driving fast, but at a level where you're not going to crash. And I think I'm quite familiar with a car with, I think, like 1,500 races in it. So I can go relatively close to the limit without crashing in it, and that helped me with his track.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, it wasn't that comfortable at this. The results will show this looks like a very comfortable place. Let's talk about the race. The opening stages of the race. Certainly, the first 10 minutes of it, it definitely wasn't comfortable for you. Then, you had, I think it was Antonio Race was really close behind you, and I think Daniel Tufts was the other driver as well, who were hot on your heels.
Yeah, Daniel was within my draft in the first couple of laps. I tried to get him out, didn't really work, but I think then he spun off in front of Antonio. Then at some point I had a slight lockup into the corner after the back straight, which allowed Antonio to get really close again. And afterwards, yeah, I just tried to keep Antonio outside of the draft range, not to risk anything then, and at some point I think he crashed it as well.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. The triple victory in Spec 1, the 2 overall race wins. Congratulations, David Gaspers. What a 42nd edition of the Runoffs. Right. Next up, Daniel, who have you managed to grab for a chat?
Well, I think I am going to steal Antonio Reese. Well, I'm going to try to. Hang on a second. I'm trying to.
Do you want me to drag him down? There we go. I've dragged him down for you.
Get damage with you.
Surprise, Antonio. You're back in the booth, sir.
Hey, yeah.
So
good surprise. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to find out a little bit how your result went for you. Obviously, we've seen you manage to go and get another Masters podium. Tell us a little bit about how you approached this race.
Yeah, I was I was just aiming to have some fun with the guys and try to stay, as fast as I could and as far as I could. And then I spun on the last corner, and then I dropped from second to 20 something or 25. I don't remember well. And then I still could recover to 12, so it was kind of a surprise. I still won the Masters. I was, what? Oh, how that happened? Anyway, it's kind of an interesting surprise for me at the end of the race. But anyway, I think many people crashed probably because there was a bunch of Masters in front of me before the end of the race. So anyway, yeah, it was a really fun and good time together with all of these guys on the Weekend Warriors. They are a great community. I love them all, and I'm happy to be with all of them. And it's kind of my main goal is just to be. I don't care if I win or if I lose, but I just want to be with the guys and have some fun.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, Antonio. And it is good to see you back here in the Weekend Warriors, one of the ambassadors certainly for the Masters class. And I will have no shames in admitting that you are definitely faster than me, sir. And I've got to say, an absolutely fantastic drive, not just today, but through the season. But Antonio, we're going to leave you be for now. But thank you very much for popping in, and congratulations on getting the Masters win today here at the Long Beach the runoffs here for Week 13.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Antonio Rees. Tim, is there anybody else you caught up with, sir?
There is indeed. Daniel Tufts joins us now. Daniel, Tufts by name, tough by nature. This race, I mean, right up there, and then I'm guessing the hot track temperatures got there in the end. Is what caused a bit of a bite there. I mean, it definitely looks like a real challenge out there today.
Yeah, it's the first race I've done in the spec racer, so I was quite surprised I had any speed at all, to be honest. But basically what happened, I was grabbing second gear when I shouldn't have been, and just the rear couldn't hold on. So I looped it a few times.
Gutty, I mean, having said that, I mean, you're going toe-to-toe with someone who's a 5-time SRF Weekend Warrior champion, the former David Gaspers, nearest them at 10K I rating. Despite your challenges, you've got to be chuffed to pieces with something, with that sort of performance against someone of that caliber.
Yeah, I noticed I got the fastest lap in the race as well, which I'm amazed. Well, I'm amazed I got. He was a really fast driver. He was really fast in the Formula Fords, which I'm my specialist car. And as soon as he learnt the lines in the wet, he was just as fast as I was. I just pushed too hard in that race, and hit a curb and damaged my rear. But no, it's been really fun. Formula V's on dirt, wasn't expecting. But that was a experience and a half. It was just avoidance. Got a few lucky misses as well.
Definitely. Well, even so, commiserations, but congratulations in some way. Daniel Tufts, I finished 8th here in the third race of the evening. And, I've cut him off there. Oh dear, never mind. Bit late that we've got a few people to get through anyway. Daniel, who have you got next?
I actually want to steal this gentleman here very quickly. Now, Guido, the main reason I am bringing you into this session, it doesn't look like you was in that last race, and if you did, you hid very, very well. But Guido, I've got to say, I just wanted to say thank you very much for making such a fantastic intro video that we used today. Great remix. And I just wanted to see if you wanted to hang out in the booth very briefly, tell us a little bit about your experience here in the Weekend Warriors.
Oh yeah, that's great. You don't have to thank me for the video. It's my gift to this wonderful community. I just joined at the start of the last season, the season that has ended, and I think I found my home. I found my people, and I race only the V's. I never raced the other cars, so I didn't want to be the wrecking ball on broadcast. So I stayed away. I followed the broadcast. You're always amazing with the broadcast. I had a lot of fun, and the V race in the dirt oval was nuts. Really, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and it's something that is different from what we do every week, and I enjoyed it a lot. So congratulations to everyone. I didn't race the last race, I just jumped here, but just to say hello and to thank you, Ray, Stevie, Stevie, all the slow motion broadcasting staff, and Michelle and Jim of the V League, because they are all amazing. And that's all. I have a lot of fun here. It's my Saturday night appointment now. I don't do anything else. When my friends try to get me out of my home, I say, no. I have better things to do now.
Well, I can definitely sympathize with what you mean there, Guido. And I got to say, it is a good place to make a home. And thank you very much for those kind words. And again, thank you very much for that video. And it's going to be great to see you certainly next season rocking the Weekend Warriors Formula B. But we are going to leave you to it for now. Thank you very much for popping, Guido.
Just one last thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's Guido Marzucchi.
Guido Marzucchi. Okay? There you go.
Marzucchi.
Well,
see you guys. You're fantastic.
Thank you, Guido. Well, it's definitely been a fun experience as well, but I am having a little quick look at the results here. I'm trying to get those figured out. I know that we've got to bring in, I think, who else have you managed to catch up with there, Tim?
Yes. I was going to say we have got, I've got a couple more left. One of them definitely being David Ogburn. Spec 2 winner, and up an incredible 19 positions as well to finish 8th overall here in the final race of the evening. It feels like you've grown into this evening. You know, it's just got better and better as the night's gone on.
Yeah, I've never really raced a V, so the dirt was a bit surprising, but it was fun. I just got caught up in a few incidents, and then I'm not very smart, and on the Formula Ford race, I tried to go add fuel real quick and then missed the start and then got taken out as I think I'd worked up to like 15th or something, but somebody backed into me. But the Spec Racer Ford race was a lot of fun, and just tried to keep it clean on the first lap and was able to make some positions up and just kind of settle in and have no incidents. And so, a little bit, out of view of the leaders, but overall it was a fun race.
And you say about trying to keep out of incidents. I think you were one of the drivers to try and pick your way through the melee that was happening on the first lap down at the fountain. Was that just a bit of hope and pray, or was it not too bad for you? You came a little bit later to the scene for you to navigate your way through.
Yeah, I got there, I think, at about the right time. So I was able to go inside and kind of mow some roses down. Had a little bit of contact, but was able to make through without too much damage. So that definitely helped me, get a few positions at the start. So yeah, sometimes you're right place, right time.
Oh, definitely. Well, congratulations on the victory.
Thanks, guys.
The final race of the evening. Dave Ogburn, who finished 8th place overall, winner in Spec 2. An incredible 19 positions. And, I'll let you the last, penultimate one, isn't it, really?
Well, it's the combo meal deal at this point. We're getting 2 for the price of 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Thompson, I don't think he knows it yet, but Stevie, perhaps, obviously Stevie Ray, if you don't know him already, ladies and gentlemen, he is the main organizer behind the Weekend Warriors. He is the leader of the Ray Esports, the Racing Line podcast as well. And Stevie, I understand you have some results for us as well. Would you like to do the honors there, sir?
Well, this is all pre-bonus results, so I don't know if you can get that screenshot, but the overall winner in Spec 1 was Mr. David Gaspers, and at Spec 2, I can't understand this guy getting it. I can't read his name, but it's Adam Thomason or something like that.
Yeah, you got close enough, Stevie.
And the Masters we're going to give to my good buddy Antonio Reese. And like I said, that's pre-bonus. They got 5 points for doing the second race, 15 for the third race, and then the typical Weekend Warriors bonus points for 0 or 1 incident. If that happened anywhere, I don't know yet. But yeah.
Well, definitely a very fun and interesting event. TV, tell us a little bit about what was happening behind the scenes to get this all organized.
Yeah, behind the scenes, I owe everybody a huge apology. You guys, the people watching the broadcast, the guys on track. Um, Between the first and second race, I was taken to manually putting in the grid from the Weekend Warriors roster and going down through and alphabetically searching for the guys, how they finished. I had that on screenshots and pictures on my cell phone and trying to find it, and I just literally ran out of time and had 27 of them or something. And then to top it off, we found out, well, if they wasn't in the first session, they're not in the second session. So it was like, oh crap. So then we backpedaled, set up a second session, and found out that I could import with the points, and iRacing, it gave me that. So that was a real click, 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 click. A nice little shortcut, and I learned my lesson and was able to have the second race ready, or the third race ready. But yeah, it was just, there was more work, and iRacing threw a couple of curveballs at me, but it was worth it. I think it was a ton of fun, and that's what this week 13 VRunoffs, like I said, this is the 42nd time we've done it, so it's been around a long time, and just a ton of fun.
Yeah, definitely it looked like a very, very busy, potentially stressful thing, but I know yourself, you are a very patient man, and that's certainly a skill that I hope to learn from you in the next, in the next seasons to come, and it's going to be great to have you here. But believe me, Stevie, I'm as stubborn as a mule sometimes. Good luck to you trying to get me to understand patience. One of my jokes as well goes on about me being a donkey, but that's a different discussion for sure. But certainly it's been an absolute pleasure having the Weekend Warriors here over as well. But Adam, have you got any closing thoughts as well on this magical Week 13 event?
I do, actually. This is the first time in a very, very long time I've been able to have Tim Cox in here, and have got him kind of strung down in the main booth. He can't leave until this session's over, so I'm going to make this as long as possible. So, Tim, first to you. I met you over at Apex back in 2020. I had just broken my ankle. You remember that, Tim?
Mm-hmm. What day?
Yeah, you do. Just broken my ankle. Didn't know what I was going to do. I had a league I was running. I was working with Apex. I was like, well, if I can't run my own league, I guess I might as well commentate on it. So we became very good friends, Tim, and I don't know about you, man, but when you decided to make friends with me, you didn't just make friends with me, you made friends with my friends as well. You made friends with Sarah, my wife. You made friends with quite a few people that I hold very close to me, and I will now consider you part of that family, Tim. So thank you so much for everything you've done, again, for real. I know you want to try to kick me out of here and all that stuff like you normally do, but I'm holding you in here now, Tim, to tell you that you are the best Brit I've ever met in my life. And I'm very, very happy to call you a friend.
God bless you. Thank you.
So that's that I just wanted to say that to Tim. And then Stevie, obviously, coming back. We had just restarted the league, or restarted not the league, but restarted the broadcasting company. And Stevie, you decided to come on over, and I am so happy for everything that we've done together, Stevie, and I hope this continues. And speaking of friends, I have a sneaky suspicion that we might end up meeting each other one of these days, Stevie, and I hope we do. So, Stevie, thank you so much for everything you've done for SMB and for everything that you've done for the Weekend Warriors as well. You're one of the few great people out there, Stevie.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and yeah, watch out for the invitation. Since I work for an airline, I just might take you up on it, but yeah, I appreciate it. And you guys, it's all just a bunch of friends. I mean, we are an extended family here. We have fun week after week after week, and these guys that come in here, I don't know how we attract them, how I attract them to the league, but everybody attracts a great group of people, and yourselves included, and so happy that we made the move over here.
Well, I hope Daniel doesn't screw that up, and that's why I'm going to come to you now, Daniel.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Daniel. buddy. I want to thank you, first of all, for taking over Slow Motion Broadcasting officially now. I don't think anybody else had the balls. I'm sorry, Stevie. I know this is your broadcast, but I don't think anybody else had the balls to do it. So you decided to take it over, Daniel. Obviously, you're going to learn a lot.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be some speed bumps. You're going to have some issues, but if anybody can do it, man, I know the charisma, the attitude, everything that you've got. I think you've really got a chance to make this bigger than I could ever make it, Daniel. So I hope you can do that. And also, thank you for. I haven't met you in real life yet, but if I ever find my way up to Newfoundland or wherever the hell you live up there,
Nova
in Canada,
Scotia, Newfoundland, it's a
Nova
whole
Scotia.
other
It was
world.
close enough.
Whole other. Don't tell a Newfie that; they'll punch you.
But if I ever find my way up there, Daniel, I hope to meet you and actually, meet the guy that's taking this company over. But good luck with it all, and don't run it into the ground, buddy.
Well, I will certainly try my best not to. It's getting quite interesting, actually, as well. Tim is the best Brit he's ever met. Stevie is the nicest person he's ever met. And then there's me that apparently has the biggest balls. So, interesting way to close out a show, ladies and gentlemen. But it's been an absolute pleasure here at Slow Motion Broadcasting. I know I've got to say the Weekend Warriors, it's one of my favorite leagues, if not the favorite league on iRacing. I raced in it before I even really got my feet properly wet in iRacing. It's one of the first places I came into. Like, Jason Green was one of the people I met early on as well. There's a lot of names I've seen in this field, like Ranzi Lin. I remember seeing him. Jim Bruce, I'm pretty sure I remember him. Dudu Castro, yep. I didn't stand a chance against that guy. He absolutely told me how it was done and smiled the whole time doing it. Like, I can't even compete with these guys. But you know what? This is probably the biggest series where I am jealous, and you know what? I want to be on track as well. And I know, Adam, you're going to potentially be doing that next season. I'm thinking maybe if I can work it out, I might show up for a few races as well, if Stevie will let me. But, it's definitely going to be a fun season as, we move forward with this. And certainly, some people are like, okay, how big do you want to go? And I'm not interested in, getting like, oh my gosh, we are international, followed all over the world big, right? And that's not my priority. My priority is to look after you guys. I want to look after the leagues. I want to look after the community. I want to look after my staff as well, make sure they're happy, make sure they're looked after. That even includes you, the head of Mr. Tim. But, it's definitely got a unique set of challenges. And I got to be honest, I'm nervous. This is a scary experience, but I'm looking forward to it. And I do have Adam at the other end of a Discord who knows how incredibly talented I am at blowing up his phone.
I'm going to stop you. You stopped yourself, but I will tell you that this is the best group of people I've ever been around in my life when it comes to slow motion broadcasting. Ron Mounds, Tim Cox, Randall McGrew, Mike Braun. All of the people, you, Daniel, all of the people that we've come in. It's a very small group of people we have here on SMB, but I do have faith in you, and I have faith that you can make things work and make it bigger and just turn it into what I wanted it to be before, obviously, I decided to have a baby with Sarah. So, but no, thank you so much, Daniel. Tim, one last time. I'm going to have to close it out, but I do have to ask you before we do close it out. Is America better than England?
Not for all the tea in England.
I got one as well.
Go ahead, Daniel.
How many incident points is getting your wife pregnant?
Well, it depends. It depends on how many incident points I got today, because I'm pretty sure it's way less than that. But Daniel, get ready to close it out because I'm going to do it one more time. All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching Week 13 VRunoffs here for the Spec Racer Forwards. My name, for the final time, I swear to God it's the final time now, has been Adam Thompson, joined by my very, 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 very good friend, Tim Cox. Also in the production booth, Daniel Zippy Salmon, your new owner officially of Slow Motion Broadcasting. Stevie Ray, thank you so much for everything you've done. But with that being said, have a great night. Everybody, whoever won tonight, celebrate safely, obviously. But this has been Slow Motion Broadcasting. My name has been Adam Thompson. I'm signing off.
Well, I can't really top that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Thompson closing out the show and closing out Week 13, the Weekend Warriors runoff series 42nd time. And thank you very much for joining. We are going to catch you next week. Oh, I almost forgot to do the upcoming broadcasts. We're good. I can still do it. Hang on a second here. Hang on.
Yes, sir. I've got some sponsors coming in. We're set for at least half the season in the Formula Fords and the Spec Racer Fords. The whole season's been taken care of for the V, so we're looking good. Keep the donations coming in and sponsors. If they want to sponsor a race, let me know. And then we're going to have a big chat on the podcast this Tuesday night.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Ray. But as we have a look at Saturday the 14th is going to be the Formula Vs at Alton Park. Now, there's a track that me and Tim will definitely approve of. Sunday, we're also at Alton Park, this time with the F1600s. And then on Sunday as well, look at that. That is a whole British lineup of racing tracks there, Mr. Cox. Spec Racer Fords at Snetterton, and I believe Adam is going to be in the booth for that one. Maybe even Joshua Wilkie, because I'm actually going to be there at Atlantic Motorsport Park for that one, calling the action live and doing a little bit of comedy in the evening. So it's fair to say no one's going to show up on Sunday. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Daniel Zippy Salmon, joined by Tim Cox, Adam Thompson, the Rabbit Ranger himself. Check out the podcast and certainly some of the episodes as well on why he's called the Rabbit Ranger, and your favorite admin of Weekend Warriors, the man himself, Mr. Stevie Ray. It's been a pleasure, and we're going to see you next time here on Slow Motion Broadcasting.
I see a Budweiser. Go ahead and hold it up.
Yes.
That was the biggest clue.
Yes, right
Doing
there.
it for Dale.
Man, it's so many gimmicks, right? I feel like they're making it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, a lot of people, you get polarizing opinions on DRS.
I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about here, but sometimes the effort, it's all about the boys. You know, like, hey, you know, life sucks sometimes, and you need the boys.
iRacing kind of always has a tendency to kind of buff the new cars just a little bit. I'm not going to go on record saying it's because they want people to spend money on their platform and buy all the new content.
Confirmed.
But
the field in Castro's hands, and he's going immediately. Gets a good jump there over Green and is pulling away. He is gapping early, even moving over to try to break up any sort of slipstream or help that inside line, making sure Green has his hands full coming into T1.
Be your chance. Did Jason give Antonio just a little bit of a slow up? It doesn't look like it. Antonio down to the inside. Hopefully going to be able to make this move. Oh, that was close.
Soto both coming very hot with a head of steam. Plava going up to try to move out of the way and give up the slipstream.
Here comes Gilliland!
Slow down. Gilliland coming in, going to try to challenge for this podium. They're going to go too wide.
Oh, no!
Oh, no! Gilliland and Plava come together. Gilliland's going to come back across the line in fourth place.
Quite going to get there. There's a little bit of a lock up there from the 46 car. He's gone deep.
Whoa. I don't know how everybody was able to get through that. That could have been absolute tears for that front runner.